I'm meteorologist Brittany with an update with our Accuweather alert that's in place for today. Thunderstorms are going to be firing this afternoon, and they will be locally strong here. The key time frame that we're looking at is 3 o'clock until 10 o'clock this evening, and these storms will have the capabilities of producing damaging winds, over 60-mile-per-hour winds, and also the threat of isolated tornadoes. Along with that, the humidity is a lot higher today, so watch out for torrential downpours, especially around this evening's commute. If we look at what's going on right now in the big picture, satellite and radar showing all of the stormy weather still well to our north and west. We've got a lot of clouds out there right now, so we have to see if we get any of those sunny breaks that will help give way to that severe weather later on today. Few spotty showers out there, but at this point there is no severe thunderstorm warnings. There's no watches that have been issued just yet, but you'll notice as we go through this afternoon, thunderstorms starting to move north and west of the city after 3 o'clock. Then we get into the heart of the evening commute here. It's in and then it's out of here. It's off the coastline by 10 o'clock tonight, but not before bringing the threat of those strong thunderstorms. We'll have more updates throughout this afternoon, but now back to GMA 3, which is in progress. I'm meteorologist Brittany here with a weather update. We have an Accuweather alert in place for severe thunderstorms that are expected to start firing up within the next couple of hours. You can see here on satellite and radar, things are starting to get active across the Northeast. If we look at what's going on a little closer to home at this point, as I mentioned, no severe weather just yet. But we do have a couple of cells that are worth monitoring here as we work our way from the bay on inland toward the coast here throughout parts of Cumberland County. A couple of cells with some heavy downpours. There were indications over the water that this had the capabilities of producing some small hail. So we're watching that as it works its way onshore. Also a cell just to the south there of Cape May. As we work our way farther north, this is northeast of Philadelphia into parts of southern Bucks County. We do have one cell around the Levittown area. Again, not severe warned, but this is producing some heavy downpours at this point. Looking ahead at the next couple of hours, as I mentioned, it's going to be a few more hours before the severe weather starts to fire up. This is 4 p.m. Future tracker showing a couple of cells in and around the northwest suburbs. For the heart of the Delaware Valley, it looks like between 5, 6, 7 o'clock, things will be getting very active with storms that can produce damaging winds, heavy rainfall, and we're also going to look at the potential of a few isolated tornadoes. This moves its way toward the coast, so it's not going to be a long duration event. Actually, by the time we get to about 10 o'clock tonight, all of this is going to be offshore. So just a few key messages here. The time frame, 3 until 10 o'clock, strong winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, blinding downpours, and also the threat of isolated tornadoes. Meteorologist Cecily Tynan will have another update coming for you at the top of the next hour, but now back to Rachel Ray.
Let's send things over to Brittany now, live in the Weather Center.
All right, as we just went over, our entire area is under a tornado watch, but we now have our first tornado warning of this afternoon. You can see the warning here highlighted in red. This is for portions of northeastern Berks County, also here into portions of central Lehigh County, and then a couple of areas here into Northampton County. This tornado warning runs until 4:30, and at this point this has been radar indicated. Nothing has been spotted by anybody, but the risk is there that this storm could be rotating and it could develop a tornado. So if you are in any of these areas here from Kutztown on north, you want to make sure that you're getting into your safe location, down to a basement if you can. All right, let's take a look at how things are. Well, we're going to go over some tips first, and then we'll take a look at how the radar is right now. Where you want to be when there is a tornado warning, the best place you can be is away from windows. Not everybody is fortunate enough to have a basement. If you don't have a basement, you want to get down into the lowest floor of your home. Again, like if you don't have a basement, you want to get into somewhere like a closet, a bathroom, some kind of interior room that doesn't have any windows, preferably somewhere that doesn't have glass, and you want to seek shelter, duck, and protect yourself until that tornado threat is no longer out there. So again, portions of Berks County, northeastern Berks County, also through Lehigh County, and a couple of communities in Northampton County, now is the time that you need to seek shelter. This is what it looks like on radar at this moment. And one thing that's really concerning is there's a lot of heavy rain in this area. So the chances are if there is a tornado in progress, you're not exactly going to be able to see it. We call it rain wrapped. So here's a couple of communities that we're looking at. 413 around Upper Macungie, 420 around Crocksville, 424 around Parkway Manor, Bungalow Park at 428, and Emmaus around 433. So there you can see where exactly we're tracking this cell. It's moving east at about 15 miles per hour, and this cell looks like it is going to be crossing over the northeast extension here, and you can also see that cross point right along Interstate 78. It looks like this is going to be just to the south, but as you'll notice with the radar reflectivities, when we show these different colors, the reds, the oranges, the yellows, this is heavy rainfall. And we've been mentioning the fact that the rain today was really going to be blinding downpours. Here's a couple of communities that we're watching out for. 415 in Ancient Oaks, Crocksville around 418. We mentioned Bungalow Park, 426, Emmaus 431, and Salisbury around 437. So if you're just joining us right now, we are breaking into Action News at 4 p.m. for this tornado warning. At this point, this is radar indicated. Nothing has been spotted just yet, but you can see the relative velocity here. We typically look at this to find out where the couplets are. When we have the green and the red really close together, that's where we have spin in the atmosphere here. So this is the exact area that our producer Paul is highlighting where we could have some rotation right now. So around Stagecoach Road and also around Rhodes Rove, I believe this is still in Berks County, this is where the greatest rotation is right now. And this is why the National Weather Service office out of Mount Holly has issued this tornado warning, because of this rotating area that they are seeing on radar at this point. So as we continue to look at what's going on with this tornado warning, maybe Paul, we can pop up that warning once again, just to give people the perspective of what area we're looking at. We're talking about Berks County, northeastern Berks County. So again, for some reference points, you have Hamburg just off to the west. You're not in that warning. We have Kutztown and Points on north that we are looking at this, again, radar indicated tornado. I want to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Cecily Tynan, who has a little bit more information.
All right, thank you so much, Brittany. You know, we've been talking about this tornado risk. Our entire viewing area is under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock. So the potential is there for tornadoes to develop. And this is the first tornado warning we have in our area. There was a tornado warning for parts of Sussex County, Delaware earlier. This one for northeastern Berks County. Really a large section of Lehigh County and a small sliver of Northampton County is in effect until 4:30. Radar indicated, so this means that the radar has shown that there is a bit of spin in the atmosphere, a little bit of shear, kind of those twisting winds, and we also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4:30. This is Storm Tracker showing the reflectivity, the radar, and you can see right there that little hook. Now, when you get that signature on the radar, it's an indication that those winds are kind of wrapping around the storm, and we're getting some of that rotation that could be touching the ground, spawning a tornado. We also have a lot of thunder and lightning. It's moving east at about 15 miles per hour. Allentown, you're just north of the strongest part of the storm, but again, if you live in the Lehigh Valley, really do want to seek shelter right away. This storm system moving towards Ancient Oaks, Lower Macungie, Emmaus, Salisbury, and Upper Saucon. If you live in these areas, please seek shelter right away. What you want to do, you want to head into a basement if you have a basement. If you don't have a basement, go to the lowest level of your home or your building and get into an interior room or closet. You want to get away from any windows. You want to put as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible. Zooming in, we can see not only the towns, but also the roads. Mine Site, Emmaus Junction, Salisbury, Lanark, and Upper Saucon, all in the path of the storm system. Looks like it's between 222 right now and 309, moving at a pretty good clip east at 15 miles per hour. So if it maintains its signature and its rotation, it will be moving towards Low Hill probably within about the next 20 minutes. This is the relative velocity. So this is what shows the direction of the winds. Now with these storms, we do have the potential for wind gusts more than 60 miles per hour. That green is heading towards the radar site. That red is heading away from it. And it shows a pretty good what's called gate-to-gate shear, where you have the bright green and the bright red right next to each other. So that's an indication that there is some rotation in the atmosphere as that whole cell moves to the east at about 15 miles per hour. Now, this shows a broader view. What we're looking at, most of our viewing area, we just have a lot of clouds and we have some rain. So that can help stabilize the atmosphere. But this system that we're dealing with, this did spawn a couple tornadoes in Wisconsin. It has enough potential shear that it can overcome the clouds and the stabilized atmosphere, and it can spin up that possible tornado. So this is where, Paul, let's go ahead and show first we'll show the tornado watch. Tornado watch is in effect for our entire area, but again, we have that warning in effect for parts of Berks County, Lehigh County, Northampton County. This is the warning. So if you live in this area, again, you want to seek shelter immediately. Please head indoors into the lowest level of your building. It's radar indicated, so that means that there hasn't been anyone who spotted a funnel cloud, but when you have so much rain, it's hard to do anyhow. So you really do have to take these seriously. That tornado warning in effect for northeast Berks County, much of Lehigh County, parts of Northampton County until 4:30. I want to bring in my colleague, meteorologist Brittany Boyer, to take over with more information. Brittany.
And at this point, we haven't received any additional details, and you know that's a good thing. We haven't had any visual confirmation from anybody within that tornado warning that a tornado has been spotted. So at this point, this is still radar indicated. And as Cecily was mentioning, you know, this isn't exactly what you want to get when you have a tornado warning. A lot of heavy rain here across the area, and you can see the bulk of the thunderstorm activity right now moving right along 78 there. So here's the northeast extension. You can see the red. That is torrential downpours with this cell that's working east. This storm that is capable of producing a tornado is moving east at about 15 miles per hour. So it is a very slow moving cell, and that cell is producing that heavy rain, and it poses the risk of a tornado. So again, we're talking about portions of northeastern Berks County, now more so crossing into Lehigh County. Here's a couple of locations that we've been able to plot for you here. 418 in Coonsville, South Whitehall around 426, Allentown, of course, one of the biggest areas that we're looking at here population-wise, 431, Salisbury 435, and around Bethlehem at 443. So again, we are on the air for a tornado warning. This is radar indicated. You want to be in a basement right now, the lowest level of your home, or even an interior room, somewhere like a bathroom if you don't happen to have a basement. So we are looking at these cells here that are continuing to move their way on east. A lot of lightning associated with it, along with that heavy rainfall. So again, this is a situation where you need to seek shelter right now because it would be very difficult to see anything.
Brittany, I just have an update. The possible tornado is located near Clausville, 13 miles west of Allentown, and now it's picked up momentum. It's moving east at 25 miles per hour right now, so it's picked up forward speed.
Okay, so it is moving quicker now. So Paul's kind of zooming into that general area that we're looking at here. So I think it's safe to say that probably the worst of this has moved out of Berks County at this point. Now looking at Lehigh County here, some reference points. You have 78 right here, 863, Route 100 as you go from Clausville on north, and then you have a few other locations here as you get a little bit closer toward the northeast extension. So if we can maybe populate some of the newer cities, since this is moving a little bit quicker now at about 25 miles per hour, as Cecily just mentioned, this is picked up some forward speed. So we're going to give you a few different locations. All right. 430 Hymansville, we have Low Hill at 436, Upper Macungie around 442, and Walbert around 446. So again, we are on the air right now for a tornado warning that continues to move with a cell from Berks County, now pushing its way into portions of Lehigh County here. And what the National Weather Service did was actually update their polygon a little bit here. So if we look at just Berks County, this is the area that we're looking at still for Berks County. So right over 78. This warning more so is now encompassing portions of central Lehigh County here. So we have our tornado warning that runs until 4:30. And then outside of that tornado warning, we already have a severe thunderstorm warning as well until 4:30 with winds capable of 70 miles per hour. So looking at the relative velocity here, again, some of the rotation in the atmosphere where we get those the colors notched closely together, the green and also the red. We're typically looking for a couplet closely together where we can see some of that rotation. And there is a little rotation right now. Again, in the area that we're looking at here across Lehigh County, there's another polygon where we can plot that 25-mile-per-hour trek that this cell is going to be taking here. So a few more locations that we can pop up for you until 428 Leather Corner Post, Coonsville 434, Crackersport at 437, South Whitehall 441, and Allentown at 446. So again, if you're just joining us on the air right now, there is a tornado warning until 4:30. This is still radar indicated, so nothing has been confirmed visually. But there is a lot of heavy rain right now, so this is very concerning for this evening's commute. Cecily, not a good time for people to be on the road right now.
Absolutely, Brittany. And you know, we've been talking about the threat of a potential tornado for a couple of days now, and we are seeing that is coming to fruition with this tornado warning. The tornado warning is in red. The severe thunderstorm warning is in yellow. That tornado warning in effect for much of Lehigh County right now, a small section of Berks County. The most severe part of that storm is heading towards the Allentown region. That tornado warning is in effect for about the next 11 minutes. We've been watching this particular cell. Now, this is called a discrete cell. It's ahead of the main line of storms, and typically these are the cells that have the best chance of getting a little bit of rotation. When you have a line of storms, a lot of times that comes with straight line winds, but these discrete cells ahead of the main line can get a little bit more of that twisting and that turning. So this is the part of the storm that appears to be radar indicating of a tornado. Again, it's not that anyone spotted a funnel cloud, which is tough to see with all this rain anyhow, but there are some signatures with that radar that there could be a tornado. So Cyberlingsville, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Low Hill, North Fogelsville, Coonsville and South Whitehall, all in the path of the storm system. You can see here's 78, so it's basically just to the north of I-78. It's moving at a pretty quick clip. It started at 20 miles an hour. It's now moving east at 25 miles per hour. Now, the tornado warning is in effect until 4:30. We'll have to see if they extend it beyond that, but even if it's not a tornado-warned storm, it's probably still going to be severe. So some of the towns it'll be heading for Coonsville, South Whitehall, Allentown, and Catasauqua. These are tough names to say, until 4:48. So not only do we have the potential for those wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour, there's also a tremendous amount of lightning. The atmosphere is unleashing a lot of energy right now. Also some very heavy rain. There could be some brief localized flooding with these storm systems, and I wouldn't be surprised if we even get some hail from this particular storm. We're seeing a little bit of a rotation of that indication. Hail tracks right now. Let's go ahead and see if, yeah, there we go. So talking about the potential for hail. Now, typically when you see hail with thunderstorms, it's an indication of the strength of the storm, how much uplift you get. The stronger uplift or updraft, the more layers of hail can be produced. And over the past 2 hours, we're seeing a pretty good sign of that hail track right along that tornado-warned storm as it continues to push to the east. Ahead of the main line of storms, we do have that tornado watch for our entire viewing area until 9 o'clock tonight. So that means that there is a potential. The potential is there that we could see some isolated tornadoes basically anywhere in our viewing area. We've had a lot of cloud cover and we've had a lot of rain that tends to stabilize the atmosphere. But sometimes with a system like this, there can be enough shear, there can be enough twisting to overcome any of the clouds or the rain and the cooler temperatures, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Tornado warning is in effect for much of central Lehigh County. You can see Allentown right now. You're just to the east of that warning. Also parts of Berks County, but really the focus of the severe weather right now is across central Lehigh County. Zooming in, you can see Allentown right now. You're hearing the thunder, you're seeing the lightning, hearing that rain as well. Some real heavy rainfall moving just north of I-78 right now. If anyone's driving in this, a good idea to pull off the road. And also, if you're in a building, again, get into the lowest level of your building, get away from any windows if you can. Rainfall rates show you that not only are we talking about the potential for damaging wind gusts, it's raining really, really hard. The precipitation rate, this is close to 3 inches per hour, so this is blinding rain. Fortunately, I really don't see a big flood threat with these storms because they're moving pretty quickly. This particular cell is moving east at 25 miles per hour. So it's a quick hit of heavy rain. It's a hit of potentially damaging winds, and then it moves on. Wider view showing right now, Allentown, you are in the thick of it. Reading, you're out of it. You just have some rain, but that particular cell continues to push to the east. And again, tornado warning in effect until 4:30. I want to bring in meteorologist Brittany Boyer with more information. Brittany.
And at this point, we haven't received any additional information from the National Weather Service, but we're going to stay on the air for the duration of this tornado warning to make sure that you and the public stay safe. So there's the polygon. The red area is where we have our tornado warning. Again, the worst of it now kind of exiting out of Berks County. So we're more so looking at Lehigh County here. The tornado warning continuing until 4:30. And then this orange box outside of that is where we have a severe thunderstorm warning. So even if you're not in that tornado warning, you're still looking at winds up to about 70 miles per hour. So here we are looking at our radar. As Cecily just mentioned, the worst of it now approaching the Allentown area, but the main cell with a lot of lightning is just north of Allentown. So again, here's the northeast extension, good cluster of lightning right around the North Whitehall area. So you want to be indoors right now, seeking shelter away from any windows, and kind of just zooming in on the area of that lightning. Within the last 15 minutes, it's indicating that there have been about 13 lightning strikes. But you'll notice just within this radar loop, I mean, a lot of this lightning occurring just within the last couple of minutes. So that's one of the reasons why you want to be indoors here as we watch this storm that is capable of producing a tornado. The ingredients are there today in the atmosphere with that spin and with that rotation. So as we plot some of these locations here with this storm moving east at about 25 miles per hour, you can see some of the communities there. Whitesville, 428, Kernsville, 433, South Whitehall around 440, and Allentown right around 445. Even though Allentown, you're getting in on some of that heavy rain right now. By 454, we're looking at this cell moving its way toward the Bethlehem area. Of course, this tornado warning is only until 4:30, so just 5 more minutes. It might not be a tornado warning by the time it goes toward the Bethlehem area, but it could still produce some strong damaging winds. So again, we are on the air. If you're just clicking on your TV this afternoon to watch Action News at 4 o'clock, we are on the air because there is a tornado warning. This is radar indicated, and it's even a little bit difficult here to pick out on the relative velocity. We use this tool to kind of show you where the best rotation is right now, and our producer Paul is kind of highlighting the area where we kind of have somewhat of a couplet, not a very strong signature, but around Low Hill, Route 100 here, also 309 as you work your way a little bit farther to the north. So again, right now, you want to be in your basement. That's the safest place you can be, away from windows, an interior room if you can. 431 Kernsville, this cell will be moving toward your area. Myersville, 437, Whitehall around 443, Hanover Acres around 449, and Bethlehem around 454. Again, this tornado warning is until 4:30. If it is no longer tornado warned, this cell, it's still pretty beefy, so it's still going to produce a lot of rain. It's producing a lot of lightning, and you can see even here to the west, this is an indication that we could have some hail coming down where you see this gray area. I haven't seen any reports of it, but this tornado warning has wording that we could have up to quarter-size hail. So there we can see, it looks like we have another tornado warning that was just issued. So just kind of getting my bearings here. This looks like it's northeastern Lehigh County crossing into Northampton County, if I can get my locations correct here. So this new tornado warning just issued now until 5 o'clock. This is new developments coming in from the National Weather Service. So we are once again looking at now 2 tornado warnings, Berks County, you are no longer in that threat. More Lehigh County and also here into Northampton County, we now have a tornado warning in effect. So just kind of zooming in on the radar, you can see a lot of lightning here within the last couple of moments. Looks like maybe Cecily has a little bit more information now that this new warning just came out.
You know, things are really erupting there in the Lehigh Valley. So that tornado warning has now been expanded, and it's been increased until 5 o'clock now. Tornado warning, this hasn't been updated yet. So this is the one. Here we go. This is until 5 o'clock. So the one that's lower across parts of Berks County and central Lehigh County, this is until 4:30, so this is in 2 minutes. However, that same cell now continues to track east at 25 miles per hour. It's near Slatington right now, and this has prompted the tornado warning to extend until 5 o'clock here. So we have a cell that's staying together, that's moving at a pretty good clip at about 25 miles per hour. So that means they've now extended the tornado warning for another half an hour. It's near Slatington right now, the center of the rotation. It's radar indicated, and when you see this radar, you can actually see it does look like there's a bit of rotation. We're getting to see a little bit of that hook echo, which shows the rain kind of wrapping around the center of the storm. We've got a tremendous amount of lightning strikes with the atmosphere kind of unleashing all of that energy. So here's the center of the storm right now, moving pretty quickly east at 25 miles per hour. So Newhart, Allen, Emmausville, Moore, and Penn Allen, all in the path of the storm system. It's south of Palmerton right now. If you live in Palmerton, though, you're hearing all that thunder and lightning, seeing the lightning. And this storm system right now, it's holding together and it's expanding. So this is something we were a little worried about when we were issued the tornado watch. With this storm in particular, you can see near the Allentown region, you are getting hit really hard. That storm, a lot of times in our area, we get the really quick spin up, where they spin up, they touch down, they lift up, and we have brief tornado warnings. This is a storm that's holding together right now. There's enough shear in the atmosphere that it's not losing its rotation, so that's why that tornado warning has been extended until 5 o'clock. If you live in this area, the Lehigh Valley, you live in Allentown, you do want to seek shelter immediately. We are also getting indications that not only do we have the wind damage, we have the thunder and lightning, the heavy rain, we also have the potential for some hail. So some of the communities in the path of this storm, Trexler's, Allen, Moores, Penn Allen, and Bushkill, all in the path of the storm system. This is the northern fringe of our viewing area right now, and this cell in particular does really have some indications that there is some rotation in it, and even if there wasn't, we'd be talking about some straight line wind damage. This shows really well. So when we talk about the relative velocity, again, this is the direction of the winds. The green is the winds that are heading towards the radar site. The red is heading away, and we've got a very strong couplet, an indication that gate-to-gate shear right near Slatington. So that's why the National Weather Service has expanded the tornado warning. The center of this particular cell near Slatington moving east at a pretty good clip at 25 miles per hour. It's right over 876 right now, and that is a very strong signature that we're seeing some rotation in the atmosphere. The big question is the rotation actually reaching the ground? I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't with a signature like that, moving east at about 25 miles per hour. So a little bit wider view showing the bigger picture that much of our viewing area under a tornado watch. We have some rain, but the focus is really across the Lehigh Valley near the Allentown region right now. So now until 10 o'clock, we have that Accuweather alert with the potential for tornadoes. I did not want to show you that graphic. Let's head back to the reflectivity and show you. Paul, why don't we go ahead and do some storm tracks on this cell, since we do have that tornado warning. This all started shortly after 4 o'clock. Tornado warning was in effect for parts of Berks County, parts of Lehigh County until 4:30. Now it's been expanded across Lehigh County into Northampton County until 5 o'clock. That particular cell right near Slatington moving east at 25 miles per hour. Some of the towns in the path of the storm system, Walnutport, Lehigh, Moore, Penn Allen, and Connects, all in the path of that storm system. This is it. So if you know where you live, which you should, if you live in this area in red, you want to seek shelter immediately. That's where we have that tornado warning. Please head to your basement or the lowest level of your home, an interior closet, a bathroom, away from windows, since this is a very serious storm. Let's head over to Brittany Boyer for more information. Brittany.
There's definitely some useful information there. And if you have somebody that might be waiting to come home from work, you can also check out 6abc.com, the weather section, if you know somebody that maybe can't physically watch us on the air here. But again, we are on the air for this tornado warning, and you can see that this tornado warning continues until 5 o'clock. This includes portions of Lehigh County and also into Northampton County. I was actually just reading some of the details from the National Weather Service. The Northeast Extension, one of the highly traveled roads in this area between mile markers 65 and 70 is the main area that we're looking at this rotating cell, the cell that poses the threat of rotating, moving on through the area. And we went over some of those tips about where you should be if you're inside your house. If you know anybody that's getting ready to get on the road in this general area, you're going to want to tell them to stay put. If they are driving, they need to pull over. And one misconception that people hear is that you can just pull under an underpass. That's actually one of the worst places you can be, because winds will actually accelerate under those underpasses. So what we're going to do next here for you is plot a few more locations. Apologies if I mispronounce. Trecklers, 435, Emmanuelsville, 445, 449 and more. We have 455 for Penn Allen and Bushkill around the 5 o'clock hour. And we are going to be on the air until at least 5 o'clock, or when the National Weather Service decides to either expire this tornado warning or continue it. So again, we are looking at this area within this polygon. You can see where the worst of the cell is right now from Lehigh on south. You are right in the thick of it right now. You have 248 right in here, and this cell is moving east at about 25 miles per hour. A lot of heavy rain in this area, so chances are if there is a tornado, you're not going to see it. And you know what? Right now, you don't want to be looking outside your window anyways. If you were in any of the communities that we just went over, this is where you want to be. You want to be down into the lowest floor of your house. As I've mentioned, not everybody has a basement. If you don't have a basement, you can go somewhere like a closet, somewhere like a bathroom, preferably somewhere that doesn't have a lot of glass around it, and stay there until this tornado threat no longer exists. So there you can see, avoid windows, go to the lowest floor in your house, and as I just mentioned, you can go to a hallway or a bathroom. So if you're just joining us now on the air here, we are breaking into coverage for this tornado warning. We've been watching this cell move its way from Berks County. Now the heart of it is into Lehigh County here. And you can see that there is a good bit of lightning as well. We're looking at this general area right in here around Lehigh. So just for some perspective, you have 145, 248, and also 946. And you can see within this box that Paul just highlighted, these are the number of lightning strikes that we've had just within the last 15 minutes. This cell has had a history of essentially speeding up and actually kind of worsening as it continues to move to the east. So there is a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain, and some indications that there could be hail too. So here's another track of a few different more communities. We have Emmanuelsville, 445, 451 at Moore, 456 in Penn Allen, and 502 in Bushkill. So if you're tuning in right now from Bushkill, you might be looking outside going, it's just showering right now. The worst of it is just off to your west. So once again, we're going to look at the relative velocity, showing us the winds inbound and outbound, creating that rotation. And as we look at this a little bit closely, it's not as strong as a rotation signature. We're typically looking for a couplet, bright red and bright green, notched really close together. There is at least some rotation here. This is now east of the Northeast Extension. So there you have the Northeast Extension. So we're looking at Slatington on east. So this is where the greatest rotation is right now, right over the Lehigh area. You have 248 right in here. And then we'll plot a few more communities for you. 447 around the Emmanuelsville area. We're also looking at around Moore, 512 is one of the cross points, 946, also 987. If you know anybody that's getting ready to leave work right now and they travel in this area, you're going to want to tell them to stay put, as this could be a potentially dangerous situation with a storm that is capable of producing a tornado. Now, one of the scary things about this is, and when you have tornado warnings, when you have a lot of heavy rain, our dew points have really elevated today. There's a lot of humidity, there's a lot of moisture in the air, and these thunderstorms essentially are creating really heavy downpours. This is one product that we can show you, the rainfall rates. You can see rainfall rates in some areas here as you get into this purple and this magenta shade. Those are rainfall rates close to 2 inches per hour. So we're talking about torrential downpours, even around the Whitehall area here near 309 and 476 and points on east toward Catasauqua. Those are rainfall rates over 1.5 inches per hour. So when we have rainfall rates like that and you throw on a tornado warning on top of it, it's not a good combination, because you're not going to see what's coming, and then all of a sudden you might have some very, very strong winds. It's a little bit difficult to make this out, but note where some of this gray is on the map right now. This is another product that we're able to show you, and these are hail tracks. So these storms not only have the tornado potential, the heavy rain, the lightning, they also do have the potential of producing hail. You can follow the legend up here. It's not large hail, it's not golf ball size hail, but penny to quarter size hail, definitely not out of the realm of possibilities. So getting off the road and into a safe location is really the absolute best place you can be right now. So we're going to show you the warning that we have once again. The bright red is the tornado warning. That's why we're on the air here. This tornado warning runs until 5 o'clock. So we're looking at least another 20 minutes or so, unless the National Weather Service decides that the tornado risk is no longer there. So this tornado warning until 5 o'clock includes Lehigh County and also into portions of Northampton County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning, a rather large severe thunderstorm warning. That's until 5:15. So we're going to watch this cell as it continues to move its way to the east at about 25 miles per hour. Lehigh, Moore, East Allen. These are just some of the reference points. You kind of get on the fringe here. Nazareth, you're not exactly in that tornado warning, but you can see the worst of it is knocking on your doorstep at this point. Those gray areas, indications of where we could have small hail too. So a lot going on right now as we continue to watch this developing situation. Cecily, I'm not sure if anything else has come out of the National Weather Service, any confirmation, any kind of reports?
Brittany, nothing from the National Weather Service, but I've been monitoring my social media accounts, and I've been hearing from some people in Lehigh Valley. Someone, Sarah from Whitehall, says that the rain is just unreal. So let's kind of reset right now and show you that, first of all, our entire viewing area is under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock. So what this means is that across our whole viewing area, the potential is there for a tornado or two to develop. Tornado watches, you don't have to do anything other than stay weather aware. Tornado warnings, though, you do have to do something. So we have this tornado warning that's in effect right now for really Lehigh County, Northampton County until 5 o'clock. So if you live in this area in red, you want to seek shelter immediately. You want to head to a basement. If you don't have a basement, just head to the lowest level of your house in an interior room. Stay away from any windows. Put as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible, because when you have tornado warnings, you have the potential for trees to come down, you have the potential for windows to be broken, and this shows that they're getting hit very hard in Lehigh County right now. Near East Allen right now, we have some very heavy rain. We have a lot of lightning strikes, and notice near Lehigh, you can see that little gray circle. That's an indication of hail. And when we get hail in storms, it shows the strength of a storm. It's the updraft. The updraft pulls the little piece of rain, the rain up into higher levels of the atmosphere where it's cold. So that little raindrop becomes ice. The higher the storm updraft, the longer that hail stays and the bigger it can get. And we have been seeing a pretty decent amount of hail with the storm system. It's moving east at 25 miles per hour at a pretty good clip. So Dannersville, Penn Allen, Nazareth, Tammany, and Forks all in the path of the storm system. Not only is there heavy rain, there's dangerous lightning, and of course there is wind damage as well. And if you live here, you do want to seek shelter right away. We're zooming in on some of the roads. So you can see the center of the storm system. It appears to be right near 248, just south of 946. We've got the heavy rain. We have the lightning all moving east at 25 miles per hour. It's staying together pretty well, and we have been seeing some pretty good signature in the radar that there could be some rotation, some of that twisting in the atmosphere that is spawning that tornado warning. A wider view showing, a lot of people have been asking me on social media, and what about Chester County? What about Berks County? Berks County, you're getting some rain right now. It's nothing heavy. Chester County, you're barely getting anything at all. The focus really is across Lehigh County, where the atmosphere is unleashing a tremendous amount of energy right now. So not only do you have the wind energy, you have the thunder and the lightning, you also have the rain. These rainfall rates, let's go ahead and query these. You can see the precipitation rate near Allentown right now, more than 1.5 inches. You get a little bit farther to the north, about 2.5 inches per hour. So it's tough to see if there's any kind of funnel cloud. It's also tough to travel. So if you live in this area, if you live in Lehigh County right now, you shouldn't be driving around. You should seek shelter right away. Not only is the wind a factor, when you have rain falling at the rate like this, you can't see anything at all. And it's over? Ah, okay. Brittany Boyer just said that the tornado warning, let's see, has been canceled. So here we go. So we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that same area. So please seek shelter, stay inside. There's no safe place to be outside during a thunderstorm, but the tornado warning has been canceled. Of course, our entire viewing area under a watch until 9 o'clock. So we'll continue to keep a look at these storms, and we will let you know if we have any more tornado warnings. I think we have some other news to report tonight. Back to you guys.
Yes. We certainly do.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Take over, please.
Take a breath, Cecily. You guys have been fabulous as always. Thank you for keeping us safe when these warnings and watches roll through.
Looks like we have another tornado warning that we're going to be populating those graphics for you momentarily here. Meteorologist Cecily Tynan is going to have more on that. Cecily, what's the latest?
All right, we do have another tornado warning in effect in the same area right now. Paul, you go ahead and we'll put the tornado graphic in. Possible tornado near Hellertown in Lehigh County. This is very close to Allentown, moving east at 25 miles per hour. This is a cell that just does not want to quit. So we do have that tornado warning in effect for parts of Lehigh County, a large section of Northampton County as well until 5:30 tonight. So this has really been the focus of severe weather. Basically, since 4 o'clock, we've seen a lot of atmospheric energy being unleashed in the Lehigh Valley. So that is the cell that we're looking. So if you see right here near Allentown, you see that little hook. So that's an indication that we could have some pretty intense wind gusts. There could be some wrapping around with this moving east pretty quickly. So Upper Saucon, Lower Saucon, you are all in the path of the storm system. Really the same area that's been pummeled by these severe thunderstorms basically since 4 o'clock, getting hit again. So some of the towns in the path of this possible tornado. Again, this is radar indicated. Lanark, Fredericksville, Hellertown, Lower Saucon, and Williams all in the path of the storm system. Looks like it's just south of 78 right now. It's south of Bethlehem, heading towards 212. Friedensville, Hellertown in the path of the storm system. We've had a lot of thunder, lightning, downpours and hail all in with this particular cell that is spawning that possible tornado. Some of the towns, Black River Road, Oakhurst Drive, Station Avenue, Springtown Hill Road, all in the path of the storm. Springtown also, and if it stays together, Durham also would be dealing with this potential tornado. So that tornado warning again is in effect. Let's go ahead and show you. So this has been the area of concern basically for the past hour. We had one cell that rolled out of Berks County into Lehigh County, and it's been crossing through Lehigh County, Northampton County right now, even a small section of Bucks County, so that tornado warning is in effect. If you live in this viewing area, this is the northern part of our area, you do want to seek shelter immediately. When you have a tornado warning, it's different from a watch. A watch just means stay weather aware. A warning means you have to take action right away. So this shows the relative velocity. So this shows what we're looking at as far as the wind, not just the speed of the wind, but also the direction of the wind. The green is towards the radar site, the red is away. And you can see that we do see near Upper Saucon and Polk Valley that we've got the reds and the greens pretty close together, and that's an indication that there could be some twisting and turning in the atmosphere. There could be some rotation. Right close to 412 right now, just south of I-78, is where we see that best rotation with this particular storm that keeps spawning the tornado warnings. This is the third one that we've gotten with this cell. A wider view showing that much of our viewing area, there's not a lot happening. We have some rain across South Jersey. Philadelphia, it's just cloudy. I am looking at this cell that's heading out of Baltimore. Going to have to see if that clips the southern part of our viewing area. But really the focus has been across the Lehigh Valley, Berks County earlier, and now into Northampton County. And you can see just the extreme northern part of Bucks County, upper Bucks County, also in the path of this potential tornado. We've got a lot of lightning strikes. We have some heavy downpours, and we have the potential for wind gusts. We have had some reports of some roof damage in Lehigh County from this potential tornado. We've also had some reports of hail, and I've heard on social media people saying that the rain right now being unleashed is just blinding. The strongest part of the storm right now between Upper Saucon and Polk Valley, it's moving east pretty quickly at about 25 miles per hour. Naka-Mixon, you'll likely be getting this pretty quickly. Rainfall rates show you that this is a storm where you don't want to be traveling at all because it's really hard to see anything at all. We're looking at precipitation rate close to 3 inches per hour, and this also could cause some localized flooding. So I knew we do have an aerial flood advisor in effect for Lehigh County. There's not a lot of sunshine today, but there's a lot of humidity. So when you have all that water vapor in the atmosphere, not only can it help make the storms a lot stronger, it can also unleash a lot of rain in a short period of time and cause the potential for some of that flooding. So again, that tornado warning is in effect, extended now until 5:30 for parts of Lehigh County, Northampton County, and Bucks County as well. And then outlying this area, we also have the severe thunderstorm warnings until 5:15. These storms do have the history of producing wind gusts anywhere from 60 to 80 miles per hour. This is the same cell that rolled through Wisconsin last night that spawned a lot of damage and also some tornadoes. Let's have an update with my colleague, meteorologist Brittany Boyer. Got some new information?
Yeah, I don't know if you read it off because I was off back on the computer, but we're hearing reports of some damage. We've been following this cell as it's moved its way from Berks County through Lehigh County, now making its way throughout portions of Northampton County. But some of the reports around the Weisenberg area, you can see as we kind of zoom on in here, that's what these are indicating, where we've had some trees or some wires down. So here we are with some of the reports are coming in. This is actually a little bit different than the one I have. This is in Slatington, and this is where we did have the couplet that we showed you on the radar, the indication of rotation when the warning was in place. Tree down and a tree down and also an uprooted tree. This was around 4:27 when the storm was happening. Another report that I have was around the Weisenberg area, which is in Lehigh County. And here you can see trees and wires down with a partially torn off roof of a building. Right now, the National Weather Service is wording this particular storm damage report as a possible tornado. Again, this already went through the region. This was around 4:15 Eastern time. So I suspect that the National Weather Service is probably going to be doing some kind of storm damage survey tomorrow, especially if there's a pretty significant damage like this, like a roof being torn off a building. The other report I saw was in Lehigh County around Lynn Township with trees and wires down. So here we are on the air right now for this tornado warning. It's the area in red. The tornado warning is until 5:30, and this includes portions of Northampton County, also as you work your way into portions of northern Bucks County. So if you're tuning in now from Lehigh County, the tornado threat is no longer in place for you. You're still under a severe thunderstorm warning, but the tornado warning is now only including Northampton County and also northern Bucks County. So around areas like Easton and points on south, this is where we have the risk of a severe thunderstorm that is capable of rotating and producing a tornado. At this point, we haven't had any visual confirmation from anybody that there has been a tornado, and we're likely not going to get that when you're looking at a setup like this. These reflectivities, the oranges and the reds, is indicating that we've had excessive downpours out there. So as we watch this cell as it moves its way east at about 25 miles per hour, we're able to plot some of the locations where this storm is going to be moving to. So if you're tuning in right now in any of these cities that I'm going to be reading off, you need to be in a basement or the lowest level of your home. 515 in Durham, Riegelsville around 520, 523 in Holland, Narrowsville 528, that's when the storm is going to be approaching your location, and 532 around the Milford area. So we're zooming on in so you can see a few more of those communities. Also some of the streets here, we can cross section. We have 611 right in here. We have 32. We also have 212, and you are right in the thick of it right now as this cell kind of works its way east and slightly northeasterly. So we're on the air once again for this tornado warning. We've had a couple of different cells today across the northwest suburbs, specifically from Berks to Lehigh, now Northampton and northern Bucks County, where we've had the possibility of a storm rotating and producing a tornado. As we look at our storm relative velocity here, we're not seeing a really big signature, a really strong signature of rotation at this moment, but there is the possibility that there could be an area within here where there could be a tornado in progress. So again, we're looking at Northampton and also parts of Bucks County. We're going to be on the air with you until 5:30 or until the National Weather Service expires this tornado warning. So here we are looking at Northampton County. We have 78 right in here. And then as we kind of drop our way on south, we have 212 here. So this is where you get into northern, slightly northeastern Bucks County, so around the Durham area, 212, 611, again, just some of the roads. If you know somebody that maybe they get off work at 5:30 and this is the area they're going to be driving through, give them a heads up, make sure they do not get on the road. Here's a look at how the latest radar trends are. We've been watching this cell as it's moved out of Berks and Lehigh County. This is also posing the risk of hail. That's what you're seeing here in this gray shade. This storm also has the capabilities of producing hail, but the worst of it now, again, continuing to move its way on east. So looking at some of these communities, Easton, probably the largest populated area here within this zone that we're watching. Also, as you work your way a bit farther south here into northern Bucks County, you're in the thick of it right now. Precipitation rates, it's probably raining a little bit harder than that right now. We've had indications that rainfall rates have been as much as 1.5 to nearly 2 inches per hour. So anyone that's driving through this area right now very likely can't see a whole lot. And we call those situations, if there were to be a tornado, it would be rain wrapped. So nobody would be able to see it, which makes it even more dangerous. So this is what I was talking about. These are rainfall rates. And everywhere that you're seeing those purples, where you're seeing that, that white area right now, those are blinding downpours. So I mentioned rainfall rates 1 to 2 inches per hour. There are indications that some areas could be seeing rainfall rates 2.5 inches per hour or greater. I know some of Cecily's followers on social media have been saying the rain is unreal right now. This is why we are taking this situation very seriously as we continue to monitor this tornado warning. So again, if you're just joining us here on 6ABC, we've been following some active weather today. We issued an AccuWeather alert for today yesterday in anticipation of this severe weather, specifically the threat of the possibility of tornadoes. At this point, there hasn't been any confirmation of tornadoes, but the ingredients are there today that there could be 1 or 2 tornadoes that spin up across our area. So we want to get the latest from meteorologist Cecily. Tynan, any more information?
Yes,
coming in?
yeah, you know, the threat has shifted farther to the south. So we just got a report from the National Weather Service that a possible tornado, radar indicated, is located near Quakertown now, and it's moving really quickly. It's moving east at 35 miles per hour. So the focus now has shifted farther to the south, and you can see a large section of upper Bucks County is now in a tornado warning. This tornado warning, this is a new one now, is until 5:45. So this is about our 4th tornado warning for this area. That possible tornado, radar indicated, not a funnel cloud spotted, and honestly with all this rain you can't see much anyhow, but radar indicated right near Quakertown, moving east at 35 miles per hour. That is very fast. That's the fastest we've seen any of these cells moving this evening. So focused in, you can see near Richland right now, heading towards Bedminster, essentially crossing 563, heading towards 611. This is where we're seeing the center of the rotation. This is where we're seeing the strongest part of this cell. Elephant, Bedminster, Tennecomm, Point Pleasant, Kingwood, all in the path of the storm system, moving very quickly. So if you live in this area, please seek shelter immediately. What you want to do, you want to get in your basement. If you don't have a basement, go to the lowest floor of your home. Avoid any windows. Go into an interior closet or a bathroom. You want to put as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible, especially since this system is moving so quickly. East at 35 miles per hour, there's really not all that much warning. So again, this is a new tornado warning in effect right now for Bucks County until 5:45. Looks like that possible tornado near Quakertown moving east at about 35 miles per hour. The radar has shown that the focus has really been north of Philadelphia. Our entire viewing area is under a tornado watch, which means the potential exists for a tornado or 2 to develop. But the focus on the strongest storms have been up to the north. Berks County, Lehigh County, Northampton County, now Bucks County, seeing the strongest storms, the most uplift, the strongest winds, and you can see pretty close to Richland right now, the relative velocity shows it's not really a strong signature, but there is a signature that there could be some of that rotating winds where we have the inbound and we have the outbound winds basically right next to each other. It's called gate-to-gate shear, and when you get a storm like that, that indicates that there could be a tornado. It's moving east very quickly at about 35 miles per hour. Let's go to the relative reflectivity rather, and show you the radar, because not only are we talking about the potential for wind damage, we also have lots of lightning strikes. We have rain that's falling at the rate of close to 3 inches per hour, and I am noticing, in addition to the lightning, you can see those little gray circles. That's an indication that there's some hail. When you get storms with a tremendous amount of energy uplift, it pulls the raindrops higher into the atmosphere where it's really cold. They form ice, and then the higher the updraft, the longer the ice can stay there, and that can cause the larger hail. And here we do see the hail tracks. You can see through Allentown towards Easton. So this is with the last cell that we had that was tornado warned. Looked like there is some hail in addition to the wind damage as well. And hail, of course, can cause a lot of damage, especially to cars. So we have heavy rain, high winds, hail, and tornado warnings. This shows the rainfall rates, and the humidity is up pretty high today. We had that warm front move through this morning, so the dew point's close to 70 degrees. So when you have dew points that high, you get a thunderstorm, it acts like a sponge that you wring out and can drop a lot of rain in a short period of time. So near Holland right now, we have a precipitation rate of more than 1.5 inches per hour. So it's hard to see in rain like this, and this is also why we don't have any eyewitness reports of funnel clouds, but the radar does a great job at detecting if there's some rotation in the atmosphere. Typically, it starts from the top down, and when you get the rotation, the higher levels, it holds together, it can touch the ground, and that causes that tornado. So this new tornado warning is in effect for Bucks County until 5:45. A possible tornado spotted with radar near Quakertown, moving east at about 35 miles per hour. And you can see it's blowing to the east very quickly. So Richland right now, you're kind of on the western fringe of this. Nockamixon, you're getting hit. Tinicum right now, we've got hail, we have lightning strikes. Looks like if it holds together, it'll be heading towards 202. Some of the towns associated with this, again, 35 miles an hour, that's pretty fast. Bedminster, Tinicum, Point Pleasant, and Kingwood all in the path of that storm as it continues to race at about 35 miles per hour, moving pretty quickly. We have had reports of some roof damage, also some hail, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of trees and power lines associated with this particular cell. Wider view showing people in Philadelphia are saying, what's going on? We got nothing at all. It's been pretty quiet. We've had clouds, we've had rain around, but the focus has really been to the north. This is where we're seeing the best dynamics, and there's something called a mesoscale convective system. It's a piece of energy that's rolling in, and typically the closer to that piece of energy you are, the better of the shearing, of the twisting in the atmosphere, and it does look like that is all well north of Philadelphia. The focus of that right now is over Bucks County. Brittany Boyer, got some new information for our viewers?
Nothing new coming in from the National Weather Service at this point. The latest update that I can provide is that the tornado threat is no longer a problem for Lehigh County, but you can see the area in which that we are looking at those tornado warnings here. We have the Bucks County area that we're primarily looking at that tornado threat. Paul, would you be able to zoom up a little bit? I just said that the tornado threat isn't there for Lehigh County. That's from one of the warnings that they issued. So yeah, so we're looking at Northampton County here. So the tornado threat does not encompass Lehigh County. We're looking at Bucks County here. So around Nockamixon, also around Richland. So you have the northeast extension here. The tornado threat is off to your east at this point. So if we kind of look at a broader view, again, Berks County, Lehigh County, areas that have already had this tornado threat, you are in the clear at this point, as we're primarily now looking at portions of Bucks County. So we're kind of zooming on in here towards northern Bucks County. I know Cecily was mentioning around the Quakertown area, points on east of Quakertown. You're in the thick of it right now. So we have 32 right over here. Frenchtown, you want to make sure that you're in your safe location. Holland, also Nockamixon, Bedminster, you're also dealing with some of this heavy rain right now. So again, we are on the air for this tornado warning. This is probably one of the more vivid couplets that we've seen over the last couple of hours, where we have some of that, the banding of the inbounds and outbound winds very close together here. So from Richland toward Paletown, also as you kind of work your way a little bit closer to 563, this is the area. If I'm mentioning any of your communities right now, you absolutely want to be indoors in a basement if you can. So this cell is moving east. It's moving rather quickly at about 35 miles per hour. You can see some of the communities here. The worst of the impacts will be getting to you around 535 in Bedminster, Pipersville around 541. And as we zoom in a little bit closer, you can actually see some of the streets here. So we have Ridge Road right in here. To the west of that, we have around 563. We have Old Bethlehem Road also within that polygon, and also South Park Road. Now, areas that are just to the east here, 113, also 611, you're also within that cone. So you want to make sure you are down to your basement. If you don't have a basement, you want to get into an interior room, a closet, or a bathroom, and stay there until the tornado risk is no longer out there. We are on the air at least until 5:45, or when the National Weather Service possibly decides to expire the warning if the tornado threat is no longer there. So if you're just joining us on the air right now, we have two different tornado warnings. You can see this one to the north. It's pretty small in size. It's gotten smaller and smaller as time has gone by, but that's until 5:30. This is the larger warning that we're watching here across portions of Bucks County, and then it enters into Hunterdon County in New Jersey. At this point, there has not been a tornado confirmed by anybody in the public, but we have had reports of damage from some of these cells that have been moving through the Lehigh Valley today. And as we kind of zoom on in here, and you're not just seeing rain, where you see some of this gray popping up on radar, that's an indication of hail. I haven't seen any reports of it, but we very well could be dealing with up to quarter-size hail as some of these storms continue to propagate their way to the east here. So looking at a few more communities, again, Richland points on east toward Nockamixon, Bedminster. You are dealing with the heart of this storm right now that has the capabilities of producing a tornado. As we mentioned earlier, the ingredients are there today. We do have the spin in the atmosphere, so it's not going to take a whole lot for a tornado to occur. And chances are, if a tornado does occur, you're not going to see it because of all of that heavy rainfall. These are just a couple of the storm reports that have come in so far. The most significant report that we've gotten in has been from the area of Weisenberg Township. This report came in around 4:15, so the threat has moved out of that area. But with the report, trees and wires have been reported to come down. Also, a torn-off roof, a partially torn-off roof of a building. And the National Weather Service is saying that this is possible tornado damage. So although we haven't had any visual confirmation of a tornado, the reports that are coming in are indicative that a tornado could have already gone through parts of our area. This is another report. This is thunderstorm wind damage. This is in the Lynn Township area. I believe that's also in Lehigh County. Trees and wires down, estimated time by radar 4:08. So this is when the cell really kind of got its act together as it was moving through Berks and Lehigh counties, and again producing some of that damage, which very well could turn out to be tornado damage. We'll have to wait and see what the National Weather Service says if they conduct a storm survey tomorrow. Also, another report here coming out of the Slatington area, northeastern Lehigh County there. Trees down, also tree uprooted. So you're talking about some pretty significant winds. And this time estimated by radar was 4:27. Again, the worst of this weather has moved out of this area, but not without leaving a trail of damage with it. So we are continuing to stay on the air as we monitor the situation here with this active weather. I want to toss things over to meteorologist Cecily Tynan, who might have a little bit more on what's going on.
And Brittany, we just got a report from the National Weather Service that a severe thunderstorm wind gust was reported in Quakertown at 53 miles per hour. So we do have a tremendous amount of wind damage and energy right now over upper Bucks County. If you look across our entire viewing area, you can see that we have generally just some rain south of where we're seeing the tornado warnings. It's really the northern part of our viewing area. Now the focus is over Bucks County, where we're getting those tornado warnings. So that tornado warning remains in effect. I'm really focused on this one until 5:45, the other one until 5:30. That cell has moved out of our viewing area. So if you live within this polygon in upper Bucks County, you really do want to seek shelter immediately. Please head to a basement. If you don't have a basement, the lowest floor of your home, away from any windows. You want to get into an interior closet or a bathroom and put as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible, because this system really does have a lot of teeth to it. It has a history of producing wind gusts 60 to 80 miles per hour. So that's certainly enough to bring down some trees and power lines. That's the focus of the severe weather over upper Bucks County. We have lightning strikes. We have some hail as well with this particular cell. And this one is moving really quickly. This is the fastest moving cell we've had to deal with all afternoon. It's moving east at about 35 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and show you the number of lightning strikes the past 10 minutes. We've had 9 lightning strikes. So this is really what's known as a hyper local event, that we're seeing the lightning really focused just on this particular cell. Elsewhere where we're getting some rain, we're not getting the thunder and lightning. We're not getting anything severe. It's just upper Bucks County right now. Crossing 611 right now near Nockamixon. Tinicum, you're in the path of the storm system. Crossing through 32. Holland, it looks like you're north of the center of circulation, but in Holland, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of hail. It looks like a pretty good hail signature just to the west. Bedminster, Tinicum, Point Pleasant, Kingwood, and Delaware all in the path of this storm system as it continues to push to the east at about 35 miles per hour. It's radar indicated, so the radar has seen that there's a bit of twisting and turning in the atmosphere, what's known as shear, and it's an indication that there is a possible tornado. Again, no visual references. No one's seen a funnel cloud, but when you get the heavy rain, you can't see it anyhow. But we have had some reports of some wind damage parts of Lehigh County from basically the same cell that's ripped some roofs off of buildings. So zooming in, you can see relative velocity. This is where it shows you the direction of the wind. The green is heading towards the radar site. The red is heading away, and you can see that we have a pretty good signature right now, right near Haycock. It's just to the west of 563. So this is an indication that there is some of that rotation in the atmosphere that can be spawning the tornado. That particular cell is moving east at 35 miles per hour, so it's moving pretty quickly, and it's all been kind of north of the Philadelphia area where we've been seeing all this particular violent weather. Our entire viewing area is under a tornado watch, but the particular warning where you have to take action where there is a potential for a tornado right now, that's focused in Bucks County. Tinicum, Smithtown, Kingwood, Rosemont, and Delaware all in the path of the storm system moving east pretty quickly. Tornado watch is in effect for our whole viewing area until 9 o'clock, but it's been Berks County, Lehigh County, Northampton County, and now Bucks County really getting the violent weather with the possible tornado. This storm system we're dealing with tonight, it does have a history of some violent weather. You can see again, we're zooming in near Weisel, I think, 576. Ridge Road currently. Elfant dealing with the potential for the center of that circulation. Looks like it's just to the north of 313 right now, and we'll be watching the relative velocity kind of move to the east. All right, it's right near Bedminster right now. So if you, sorry, what'd you say?
East of 25.
All right, so now it's slowed down a little bit. All right, right now the National Weather Service says that this particular potential tornado is near Bedminster, and it's slowing down a little bit. It's moving east at 25 miles per hour. So it should be crossing Route 611 right now. Weismer, Point Pleasant, looks like heading towards Route 29. Some of these towns in the path of this possible tornado. Bedminster, where we think it is right now. Pipersville, Wismer, Point Pleasant, and Raven Rock, all in the path of the storm system. If you live in those communities, please seek shelter immediately. We take tornado warnings very seriously in our area, and as we've been going through the years and the decades, we're seeing a lot more of these than we used to. Our atmosphere is definitely getting a lot more charged up. So that tornado warning is in effect for a large section of upper Bucks County until 5:45 right now. So you can see this extends basically from 212 through Route 29, Nockamixon, Oatsville, Smithtown, Point Pleasant, Bedminster, where we're seeing that center of the rotation, all in the path of this possible tornado, and then outlying areas all under the severe thunderstorm warning. We have had reports already of some wind damage, of some roofs being torn off of buildings. Also, there's hail, there's lightning, and there's very, very, very heavy rain. Zooming in, you can see right near Richland right now, near Tinicum, moving towards Delaware. This is where we're seeing that center of rotation moving across 611 right now. Plumstead, heading towards Route 29. We have lots of lightning strikes. You see right here, see that little notch? That is an indication. That's what's called a hook echo. So that's a radar signature of a possible tornado. When you get the rotation, you get that rain kind of wrapping around the center of the storm. That's an indication that this could in fact be a tornado, and that's why we do have that tornado warning in effect right now in Bedminster. If you live in Bedminster, I hope you're already in your safe place. If you're not, please get into your basement right away. This could be pretty serious. Point Pleasant as well. It's moving pretty quickly at about 25 miles per hour, so there's not a lot of notice. So please, if you live in Upper Bucks County, seek shelter immediately. Tornado warning is in effect, and I want to bring in meteorologist Brittany Boyer. Got some new information.
Well, the most recent thing that we're seeing from the National Weather Service is that they're going to continue this warning until 5:45. So what that means is they don't exactly see the cell weakening at this point. which is why they're going to allow this warning to continue until 5:45. So if you're just joining us now on the air, we are on the air because there is a tornado warning, and this includes portions of Northampton and also Bucks County until 5:45. This is radar indicated. Nothing has been spotted by anybody from the public, but as Cecily mentioned, you can see a little bit of notching here with the radar right around the Bedminster area, and this is very concerning as we're right in the rush hour time frame. Some very heavy rainfall, so that's where our producer Paul's kind of highlighting where this possible tornado can be. I'm using the word possible because conditions today are favorable for rotation in the atmosphere. We've already had reports of damage here, so we've already had reports of damage from thunderstorms across the Lehigh Valley. So between Elephant and Bedminster, that is where this cell is rotating at the moment, and you absolutely want to be in your safe location. As we've reiterated a lot today, the basement's the best spot you can be if you don't have a basement, an interior room, a closet, a bathroom, somewhere away from windows, and stay there until at least 5:45 or until the National Weather Service decides to allow this tornado warning to expire. So if we look at a few different communities here, we've been mentioning the Bedminster area. This cell is moving east at about 25 miles per hour. So if we look at the time, Bedminster, 5:29. So right now, you're in the worst of it. Wismer, my apologies if I mispronounced that, 5:37. Point Pleasant, you still have a little bit of time. 5:43, the worst of the storm will be arriving to your area. Rosemont, a little bit later than that here. So if we zoom on in here toward the area that's experiencing the worst of it, Bedminster toward Pipersville, so you have 611, also 413 there. A couple of roads for reference for you if you live around here. We have Dark Hollow Road, Rance Mill Road, and also what looks like Carversville Road here. So from Pipersville toward Wismer, also Smith's Corner, you want to be in your safe location. The worst of the storm is going to be working its way east. So we mentioned the Point Pleasant area. You're starting to get into that really heavy rainfall right now. So 32, also 29, just a couple of those roads that intersect that area with that tornado warning. So if you're joining us now, we're on the air because there is a tornado warning. You can see it right underneath me here for Northampton and also part of Bucks County. That is until 5:45. We've had a couple of different tornado warnings today from Berks County to the Lehigh County. You are no longer under that severe weather risk. This is more so just portions of Bucks County and also into Northampton County. Paul, are you able to tell me if Northampton County is still in the warning or did they trim that out?
They are out.
Okay, it looks like Northampton County is now out of that tornado warning, so we're more so across our viewing area. You have Bucks County here and then into Hunterdon County looking at that tornado warning. So again, we are on the air here for a tornado warning that is radar indicated. Now we're looking at just Bucks County in our viewing area with that tornado warning until 5:45, and you can still see a good signature of rotation here from Bedminster and points just slightly east. So Bedminster and 113 here, that is where this cell on our relative velocity is showing that possible rotation. So, you know, we're not seeing any rotation right now. There are indications by radar that this storm is rotating and it possibly is producing a tornado. I'm saying possibly because there is a lot of heavy rain impacting this area right now. The chances are of somebody actually being able to confirm that tornado and report it to the National Weather Service are a little low due to the fact that the rainfall is so excessive at this point. All right, we're working our way back up toward the warning here. So it looks like now we have a flash flood warning. Trying to get my bearings of where we're looking. This looks just Northampton. I was going to say it looks south of the Poconos. So Northampton County here, Blairstown, Hope, and also the upper Mount Bethel area. I mentioned the fact that we've had a lot of heavy rain. At times we've had rainfall rates 1 to nearly 3 inches per hour. So if you live in this area, Turn around, don't drown. I don't know off the top of my head how serious the flooding is right now, but there is a flash flood warning until 9:45 tonight. So we're also watching not just the tornado threat, but also the threat of torrential downpours that can lead to flash flooding. And Cecily, I imagine you probably had a little bit of time to look at this. And of course, just as I say that, it looks like we've got another tornado warning.
Yeah, well, you know, the center of that circulation right now looks like it's near Pipersville. So we just got a report from the National Weather Service. It's near Pipersville right now. It's moving east at 25 miles per hour. So they're starting to kind of trim back the tornado warning in Bucks County, but still parts of upper Bucks County in effect until 5:45. And the center of the circulation right now, again, near Pipersville. So Bedminster, we showed this earlier. That's where we were seeing this notching, this hook echo. Now, yeah, here we go. Pipersville right now. If you live in Pipersville, please, I hope you are in your basement right now, because that's where we do have the indication that there is a radar indicated tornado bearing down on you currently. Pretty good radar signature that there is some rotation in the atmosphere, some of that turning and twisting, what's known as shear. So crossing 611 right now in Pipersville. Wismer, you are being hit with this. Point Pleasant, it's on the way. It's moving east at 25 miles per hour, so it's moving at a pretty good clip. Not only are we looking at that rotating wind, if you look at this, you can see a tremendous amount of lightning. The atmosphere is kind of unleashing all this energy right now over Bucks County. Also, we're getting some indication that there is some hail as well. So it's crossing Route 11 right now. Again, it's moving east at about 25 miles per hour. The number of lightning strikes in this location alone, and we're zoomed in really tight, we've had 31 lightning strikes over the past 10 minutes. So there is a lot of atmospheric energy with this. With that radar, you can see that notching right now. It's crossing 611. It's heading towards Wismer, heading towards Point Pleasant, heading towards Route 29. Looks like the center of rotation is north of Plumstead. You're getting some lightning, you're getting some heavy rain there, but really the strongest, the most dangerous part of the storm is near Pipersville, moving east towards Point Pleasant. So some of the towns that are in the path of the storm: Wismer, Point Pleasant, Stockton, Delaware, West Amwell in effect with this tornado warning that is in effect until 5:45. Really the focus of all the severe weather has been north of Philadelphia. We had a few cells moving through. It started in Berks County, Lehigh County, Northampton County, and now you can actually see just with the concentration of the lightning strikes where we're focused on, and you can see it's upper Bucks County currently. So near Pipersville is where we're looking at the center of that storm. Radar indicated that could be producing a tornado. Farther down to the south, we don't have a lot going on. We have a few showers across parts of South Jersey. I'm watching a cluster of thunderstorms working out of Baltimore, but it looks like these are moving southeast, so I don't think these are going to be hitting our viewing area. We did have a tornado warning in effect earlier this afternoon, Sussex County, Delaware, so that's out of our viewing area. So right now, really the focus is in Bucks County. This is where we're getting that severe weather, and I think once this cell moves on, I'm hoping that everything really settles down. This looks to be the worst of it right now. Near Bedminster right now, even though the center of the circulation has moved to the east, you're still getting lots of heavy rain. You're getting thunder and you're getting lightning as well as hail. The center of that circulation is moving towards Route 29, and this actually shows the hail track. So talking about that hail, looks like we have some pretty significant hail that's been moving through Bedminster. And as I mentioned earlier, when you get hail in storms like this, it shows the strength, it shows the updraft, that it can pull the raindrops so high in the atmosphere where it's cold enough where the raindrops freeze, and then the stronger the updraft, the longer those hail drops can stay there, can kind of bounce around, add layers upon layers. So we're looking at heavy rain, lightning, hail, and wind damage, and we also have reports that there is some flooding right now in Northampton County. So let's go ahead and put back the reflectivity, and this shows what we're looking at. So Bucks County right now, you are under the gun with that tornado warning. Wismer right now is getting hit very hard. Plumstead, Bedminster, you're on the western edge of this, but you're still getting some very intense rain, some pretty intense lightning as well, and hail. It's heading towards Route 29, Point Pleasant. Currently, it's moving east at 25 miles per hour. Relative velocity, so this does show, you can see to the east of Bedminster. Now, I do think this lags a little bit farther behind because we're looking at the center of circulation. I think it's just over Wismar or a little bit farther to the east. Typically, this is about 5 minutes behind where we're seeing the best rotation. So near Wismar, we're near Point Pleasant. I think that's where we're seeing the center of the rotating storm that could be spawning the tornado. Again, this is radar indicated, but some of this has verified that we have been getting in some storm reports with some wind damage, with some roofs down, and we've had reports in Quakertown of wind gusts up to about 53 miles per hour. So this is the reflectivity. You can see right now, Point Pleasant, you're getting the thunder and the lightning. You're getting the potential for that rotating wind. Looks like that center of the circulation just to the north of Plumstead, working across 412, moving at a pretty good clip at 25 miles per hour. So please, if you live in this area, you really need to seek shelter right away. You don't want to be traveling. You want to be in a basement, maybe listening to your TV, got your cell phone, and hopefully just riding this out. The good news is that these storms are moving pretty quickly, and I do think that everything's going to settle down once we get this particular cell out of our viewing area. Even though we got the tornado watch in effect until 9 o'clock for our entire viewing area, this is really the focus right now where we're seeing the most severe storms. So you can see this is the area where we have that tornado warning from Stockton, Point Pleasant, 611 near Bedminster. Bedminster, the center of the circulation has pushed to the east, but you're still getting a lot of thunder and lightning. You still want to seek shelter. Lahaska, Lambertville right now, 202. This is the focus of the most severe part of that storm system, and we do still see that notching, that hook echo, which is a pretty good indication that there could be some rotation with the storm, and that's why we still have that tornado warning in effect. And meteorologist Brittany Boyer, she's been monitoring social media, National Weather Service, and you've got an update.
Yeah, nothing new coming in at this point, but we're going to stay on the air here until these tornado warnings expire or there is no longer a tornado threat. So we still have a little ways to go here. You can see the warning time until 6 o'clock and also until 5:45. There's two different polygons here. It's a little bit difficult to make out across portions of Bucks County there. So we're still on the air. We're still covering the threat for this tornado until 6 o'clock. As far as reports that I've seen so far, Cecily mentioned the fact that there was a wind gust at Quakertown Airport. That was at 53 miles per hour. We haven't exactly received any additional reports of any of these cells that are moving through the areas that are currently under a severe a tornado warning. But we do have thunderstorm wind gust reports. Here's the one that came in from the Quakertown Airport. This is in Milford Square. This report came in at 5:15. So came in less than a half hour ago of a wind gust of 53 miles per hour. So that's just some of the intensity that we're seeing with some of these thunderstorms. As we've been mentioning today, the threat would be for damaging winds and also the potential of tornadoes as well. So this is how things look on the big picture. Not everybody's seeing the severe weather right now. This is north and northwest of Philadelphia where we're seeing the heart of the action. A lot of lightning here as you work your way across parts of, let's say, central Bucks County. So we're continuing to monitor this situation, this storm cell that is capable of producing a tornado. Again, nothing has been visually spotted, but there have been some signatures on radar that indicate that there could be a tornado. There's also a lot of lightning. This is the most lightning strikes that I've seen over the last couple of hours. Within this red box that we've just highlighted here for you, those are lightning strikes within the last 15 minutes, 92 lightning strikes. So not only are you looking at a tornado threat, you're also looking at that lightning threat. And as we always say, when thunder roars, go indoors. Lightning is just as dangerous as a tornado, and it obviously can also be deadly too. So we don't want to see anyone get into a bad situation here this evening. So this is the area that we're looking at. We've been watching this cell as it's been moving its way from Bedminster toward the Wismar area. area. Also here between Plumstead and also Carversville, where we're seeing a little bit of a notch there. That's where we could be getting some of that rotation at this point. Chances are you probably can't see a whole lot because reflectivities are showing that really heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder likely occurring in this area. To go along with it, also up to 1-inch hailstones. So this is how things are playing out as far as rainfall is concerned. We've already had at least a flash flood warning to our north, and here's why. I mean, we have a tremendous amount of moisture in the air. Our dew points today have climbed into the upper 60s and into the low 70s, so there's a lot of moisture to squeeze out today, and that's exactly what's unfolding. Where you can see some of those white colors popping up here on our rainfall rates, we're getting up to 1.5 inches plus to nearly 2.5 or nearly 2 inches and 3/4 of rain per hour. So this is a tremendous amount of rain that's coming down right now. We're talking blinding downpours. I've seen a couple of videos that people have sent in to us on social media showing just the intensity of that rainfall right now. We've also had reports of hail. I haven't seen any sizable reports that have been reported to the National Weather Service. If you have any, you can report that to them. But this is showing where the track of the storm has gone through and where the hail has gone through over the last 2 hours. So exactly where we've had this tornado warned cell around the Bedminster area. We have 113 here. We have 611. So this cell has not just brought the tornado threat, it also has brought the hail threat too, of hailstones. Looks like around 1/2 inch or so in diameter. Our shear tracks, where we've had some rotation, again, the same areas that we've been talking about with this tornado warning. So this almost gives not exactly ground truth, but it really just reiterates the fact that these storms are rotating, and they've had a history of rotating as we've been watching this unfold here across portions of Bucks County. So if we can maybe pop up the polygon, Paul, with where the tornado warning is right now, just to kind of get our bearings with what we're looking at. Here you have our tornado warning over Bucks County, so 611, also 29, this tornado warning until 6 o'clock, and it also extends its way a little bit farther east. But Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, this is outside of our viewing area, right? Okay, this is in Hunterdon County, so we're primarily in our viewing area looking at this part of Bucks County. So the tornado warning still in effect until 6 o'clock. It looks like we have about 15 more minutes, or the National Weather Service could either expire it or continue this tornado warning. We continue to still see on radar not just the threat for hail and lightning, but also still the possibility of that rotation between Plumstead and also between Soulbury. So anybody that might be traveling along 32 right now, also along 29, you can see 202 here a little bit farther to the east. You want to be in your safe location. Hopefully you were in a house right now. Hopefully you're not on the road. I know it's the evening commute. If you know somebody that might be getting on the road, make sure that they know that there is a tornado threat in this area here. So again, we are on the air looking at Bucks County. A tremendous amount of lightning here within the last 15 minutes. When we last looked at it, there were 92 lightning strikes in this area. So this is a very dangerous situation that is unfolding this evening across parts of our viewing area with this storm that is capable of producing a tornado. As far as I know, at this point, nothing has been visually confirmed, but we've seen the signatures with our relative velocity, our shear tracks. The data is suggesting that there is a rotating thunderstorm here. So now, hopefully by now, you are in your safe location. So Cecily, looks like we still have a little bit longer with this tornado warning that's moving through.
And Brittany, we just got an update that the center of rotation is near Gardenville right now. It's moving east, maintaining that forward momentum at 25 miles per hour. So this is where we're looking. It's just to the east of Soulbury right now. So we're zoomed in so you can see street lights level. The center of that rotation is crossing Green Hill Road right now, 263 Lahaska. It's just to the north. If you're in Lahaska, please seek shelter right away. Lambertville, it's heading your way. It's moving pretty quickly. Looks like this likely will be clipping northwestern Mercer County. Mercer County is not officially in the tornado warning, but if you live in northwestern Mercer County, you live near Trenton, I would seek shelter because this is a dangerous storm, even if you're not in the particular path of the rotation. Soulberry currently right now heading towards Route 32 West Amwell. You're in the path of this storm system, and you can see all the lightning strikes. This storm really has a tremendous amount of atmospheric energy. Some of the towns in the path of the storm: Soulberry, Reeder, Lambertville, I already mentioned that, West Amwell, and Titusville, all in the path of the storm system. This particular cell is really focused in Bucks County. It's heading towards Northampton County. It's heading towards Mercer County. Looks like it'll be clipping Mercer County right now, but the focus of the tornado warning is Bucks County. That is in effect until 6 o'clock. This shows the relative velocity. This is a pretty good signature as well. Again, we've been kind of educating you about all the little tricks we have here on Storm Tracker to be able to show you what's happening inside the storm. The green is where the wind is heading towards our radar site. The red is where it's heading away. And when you have this pretty good signature, this couplet of gate to cage here, where you have the red and the green right next to each other, that's an indication that there's rotation in the atmosphere, that there's that twisting and turning that can spin up a tornado. All the tornado warnings have been radar indicated. We have not had visual confirmation of a funnel cloud. It's hard to see when you have really heavy rain anyhow, but some of these have verified. We have been getting reports that there have been some roof damage. I know in Lehigh County we had some roof damage. Quakertown earlier reporting a wind gust of 53 miles per hour. So this particular center of circulation is moving east again at about 25 miles per hour. If you live in the Lambert area, if you live in the New Hope area, please, I hope you are already in your safe place in your basement, because this looks legit. Reeder, Lambertville, Moore, Titusville, and Bear Tavern, all in the path of the storm system. Looks like it will be clipping Mercer County right now, but we have that tornado warning in effect for Bucks County. It's been in effect for a while right now. Storm Tracker showing the reflectivity. Why don't we show how many lightning strikes, Paul, we've had over the past 15 minutes? Because it looks like it's actually starting to get stronger. A lot of times when we have severe thunderstorm cells, tornado warned cells, they weaken pretty quickly. But over the past 15 minutes, sorry, I missed that query, Paul. We've had a lot of lightning strikes. You can see they're basically focused right around Route 29. Also, we are getting an indication that there's some hail as well. This has been where we've been seeing the severe weather across Bucks County. So south of Bucks County, we have some rain. We have the tornado warning in effect for Bucks County. And you can see now we're doing the query. This is over the past 15 minutes showing rainfall rates. I think our storm tracker is a little bit tired. The rainfall rate is not 0.04 of an inch per hour. We're seeing the rainfall rate actually more like 2.5 inches per hour. There's a lot of very heavy rain associated with the storm system. Storm Tracker 6 is just running out of steam right now. So this is where we're seeing the focus of the severe weather. Not only do we have all this lightning, we have the hail, we have the heavy rain, and we also have a radar indication that there is some twisting of the atmosphere. There we go. The past 15 minutes, we've had 171 lightning strikes. That's an indication just how strong this is. Even if you are not right in the center of circulation, you're getting the dangerous lightning, you're getting those wind gusts, the winds are howling, the very heavy rain. This storm system actually is intensifying as it moves east. It's holding together very well, moving across upper Bucks County, clipping Mercer County right now, and it should be heading out of our viewing area into Hunterdon County. I said Northampton County earlier. I was wrong about that. Hunterdon County as it continues to push to the east at about 25 miles per hour. So if you live in Plumstead, you are out of the center of circulation. The worst of it has now pushed to the east, but New Hope, Lambertville, that area. This is where we're really focused on the worst part of the storm. Looks like it's basically right over the Delaware River. Why don't we go ahead and show some of the towns in the path of the storm system? We've been watching this for quite a bit of time right now. It continues. That tornado warning is in effect for the next 8 minutes until 6 o'clock. We'll have to see what the National Weather Service does, but it looks like this particular cell is going to be moving out of our viewing area. So this is where we're seeing the center of that circulation just to the west of Lambertville. It is bearing down on Lambertville right now. It's moving east pretty quickly. So Aquatong Road, North Sugar Road, Green Hill Road, you are getting hit very hard. Looks like it'll just be heading north of Moore, but Lambertville right now getting hit very hard. Stockton, you're north of the center of circulation, but I do want to focus on the fact that when you have a storm system right like this, you don't have to be in the middle of it. You get the wind gusts, you get the lightning, you get the heavy rain, even a little bit farther out of the center of circulation. Looks like it's heading towards Route 202 right now, moving pretty quickly, and Brittany Boyer is moving very quickly as well. Over to the green screen. I think you have some new information.
Yeah, we just got word from the National Weather Service that a tornado has been confirmed in the area of Lumberville. This confirmation of this tornado at 5:50, so just within the last couple of minutes. The cell was located about 16 miles northwest of Trenton, and it is moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. So again, new information from the National Weather Service that a tornado has been observed in the Lumberville area as of 5:50, and they're wording this as a considerable threat right now. So this just reiterates what we've been saying all evening. If you hear us mention any of the communities that you live in, you need to be in a safe location. Along with the tornado threat, our tornado warning has been expanded here until 6:15. So everywhere that's in red at this point, if you see your community on there, if you see the road that you might travel on to get home, all of these areas are currently under a tornado warning. So county-wise, this includes portions of Bucks and also Mercer County. And, you know, we can never go over this information too much. So let's go over some tornado safety since we've been talking about ongoing tornado warnings for a couple of hours now. You want to avoid windows. Obviously, windows have a lot of glass. If a tornado occurs where you live, you don't want all of that glass blowing in your face. You want to get down into the lowest floor of your house. A lot of houses have basements. A lot of houses also don't have basements. So if you don't have a basement to get down to, you want to go into an interior hallway, even a closet, a bathroom, and stay there until the tornado threat is no longer there. You can even just bring your phone with you and stream on our 6ABC app so you can get away from the TV and get into a safe location. So again, we are on the air watching this tornado threat here in Bucks and also Mercer counties. These tornado warnings continue through at least 6:15, and there has been a report of a tornado that was observed according to the National Weather Service. So as we look at things on a more familiar view for you here, this is how the radar appears at this hour. We've been watching these cells from Berks County to Lehigh County to Northampton County. Now we're looking at portions of Bucks and also Mercer County. So where we're looking at this cell in particular, you can see where our producer Paul is noting the fact that where we could be dealing with that rotation and with that possible tornado, that takes us just to the south and east here of Solebury. You can see 32 right in this area. This is where that possible tornado is. And I'm just going to step off so I can remember the town name. As I mentioned a little while ago, the National Weather Service confirming an observed tornado in Lumberville. That was at 5:50. And this cell, for perspective, is 16 miles northwest of Trenton, and it's moving at 25 miles per hour. There's a lot of rain, a lot of lightning, also even the threat of hail, which is why one of the reasons why we want to say that you should be getting down into a basement, away from windows. We've already had storms that rolled through the Quakertown area that have produced winds over 50 miles per hour. So we're watching this cell here. We've popped up a couple of communities for you. As I've been reiterating, if I say your location, basement, interior room, that's where you want to be right now. So 6:05, the worst of the storm will be reaching the Moore area. 6:12 in Washington Crossing. Ewing, I think I'm pronouncing.
Yeah, that's right.
Ewing at 6:22 and Hillcrest at 6:26. So again, we are on the air here as we continue to watch this threat for a tornado. This cell kind of moving its way to the south and east here. And you can also make out some of the roads that intersect that. So if you have somebody that might be coming home or you know somebody that might be getting on the road here soon, give them a call. Make sure they're not going to be in this path of where a tornado could be moving through the area. Again, we do have reports of an observed tornado. So as we continue to look at the severe weather setup for today, Paul, if we can kind of maybe zoom things on out just to kind of get our bearings with the location that we're looking at. Not everybody's dealing with severe weather right now. If you're tuning in from Philadelphia, if you're tuning in from Chester County, you're not seeing any of this active weather at this point. It's a relatively confined area, and this is what I'm talking about here. Not everybody's seeing severe weather. We have rain out there, but your eye really just gets drawn to where all of this lightning is north of Trenton at this hour, and that is that cell that is keeping us on the air here. We want to make sure that you stay safe, especially considering a tornado has been observed. So I want to toss things back over to Cecily with a little bit more information on what we're dealing with right now.
Thank you so much, Brittany. And I want to kind of reset here because we have been on the air for the better part of 2 hours right now tracking this tornadic activity. We now have a tornado warning in effect until 6:15 for parts of Bucks County into northwestern Mercer County. This is north and west of Trenton. Now, a lot of times when we have tornado warnings, they are radar indicated, but we have confirmation of a dangerous tornado about 10 minutes ago near Lumberville, moving to the southeast. So this particular cell, it's changed direction. It was moving east about 15 minutes ago. It's starting to move to the southeast. It's moving pretty quickly at 25 miles per hour, and this is a pretty populated area. So what I want to do, I want to show you some of the towns it's heading for as it continues to push to the southeast. It's heading towards the Mercer area. Tremendous amount of lightning strikes. Over the past 15 minutes, we've had about 170 lightning strikes. And if you see the radar, you can see there is a pretty good indication, that kind of notch, that hook echo, that there is a confirmed tornado. So some of the towns it's heading for: Moore, Titusville, Washington Crossing, Ewing, Sturwood Hamlet. If you live in any of those towns, you want to seek shelter immediately. This particular cell has a history of intense wind gusts, more than 60 miles per hour. Also in this same area, a little bit farther to the north, Lehigh Valley, we have reports of confirmed roofs being pulled off by the winds, and this shows the hail track as well. Now, hail is an indication of the strength of a storm. You got the updraft. It pulls up the raindrops into higher atmosphere where it's cold enough where it forms ice, and then the stronger the updraft, the longer that hail stays up there, just getting layers and layers of the ice. And you can see the hail track. Actually, this hail track is basically the exact track of the tornado warnings from Bedminster through Plumstead, Salisbury, crossing 202, heading towards Moore right now. So that's really the track this particular cell has been taking. It was working to the east, and then it started to make a turn to the southeast. It's been moving anywhere from about 35 to 25 miles per hour. It's slowed down to 25 miles per hour. So that's the shear track. So that's an indication of the shear. The shear is the twisting in the atmosphere, the spinning that can spawn that tornado. And typically when we do have those tornado warnings, it's all radar indicated, but we do have a confirmed tornado near Lumberville, Bucks County, Pennsylvania. This shows the relative velocity. This is another little trick we have in our storm tracker that shows you where the center of the rotation is. So where you have the green, that's the wind heading towards the radar. Where you have the red, it's heading away. And you can see there's very, very strong circulation just to the south of Lambertville right now, crossing Route 29, heading towards Moore. So this is the center of the circulation of, again, that confirmed tornado as it continues to press to the southeast at about 25 miles per hour. We've had lots of reports of wind damage. We've had reports of some localized flooding, also lots of lightning. And this is a storm you don't want to mess with. So hopefully if you live in that tornado warning, you are in your basement right now. If you don't have a basement, head to the lowest floor of your home. You get to an interior closet or a bathroom. Get away from the windows. Put as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible. Don't go to your windows to take pictures. Just don't do that. It's just not worth it. So more, Washington Crossing, Ewing, and Sherwood Hamlet all in the path of this tornado warned storm that, again, a confirmed tornado in Bucks County heading towards Mercer County. So this is the flood warning. That's another factor. We have dew points around 70 degrees out there. So there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. When you get a storm like this, it acts like wringing out a sponge. It pulls all that moisture out of the atmosphere, causes a lot of rain in a short period of time. So flash flood warnings are in effect for this area, parts of Bucks County, parts of Mercer County until 10 o'clock. So with a flash flood warning, it means that flash flooding is occurring. So this is another reason why you don't want to be driving in this. You can't tell how deep the water is. The rainfall rates have been very impressive. Rainfall rates just to the east of Lambertville, close to 3 inches per hour. So you can barely see anything at all. So this is another factor. So we have the lightning, we have the wind, and we have the flooding with rainfall rates close to 3 inches per hour. This is reflectivity. So this shows where we're looking at the center of that circulation. First of all that thunder and lightning looks like Lambertville, you are on the western edge. So the heaviest part of the storm is now moving east of Lambertville. It's crossing Route 32. It's crossing the Delaware River right now. Pennington looks like you're in the path of that storm. Looks like it's heading probably just north of Ewing with the lightning strikes right now. You are hearing it in Pennington. It's loud, and you're probably hearing the wind howling as well. More right now, the heaviest part of the storm is just to the north. Where we're seeing that notch, that's that center of circulation. And again, it's all moving southeast. So Bear Tavern, you're in the path of that storm system. Looks like it'll be crossing 295 and Ewing as it continues to push to the southeast pretty quickly at 25 miles per hour. This is a storm that doesn't want to quit. And meteorologist Brittany Boyer has some more information for you. Brittany.
And I suspect we might be on the air for a little while longer here. The National Weather Service now confirming a confirmed large and dangerous tornado has been located over New Hope. That's in Bucks County. That report came in at 6:01. So within the last 4 minutes, I'll read this again, a confirmed large and dangerous tornado has been located over New Hope. That's in Bucks County. And that happened at 6:01 this evening. This cell is moving southeast at 25 miles per hour, located 11 miles northwest of Trenton. So we put a couple of communities on here. You can see around Bear Tavern, 613, the worst of this is going to be moving through your area. Ewing, 622. If I am reading your town's name, please, please, please get down into a basement or into a safe location. A confirmed large tornado has been spotted by somebody and reported to the National Weather Service. Sherwood Hamlet, 628. Trenton, the worst of this, getting to your area at 634. The tornado warning at this point continues until 6:15. This very well may be expanded due to the fact that a tornado, a large confirmed tornado, has been spotted and reported to the National Weather Service. So what we're doing here is looking at where some of that rotation is right now. There you have more. You have 29. A couple of the roads, we're getting hyper local here because this is a dangerous and life-threatening situation. A confirmed tornado, a confirmed large tornado happening in Bucks County within the last 5 minutes here. So we have Pleasant Valley Road. We also have what looks like Pennington Harborton Road around Bear Tavern. We have Jacobs Creek Road, and we also have a few other communities here as we get a little bit closer to 295. But at this point, the worst of the cell remains a little bit farther to your north and west. So here we have it once again, the area that we are watching for the possibility of a tornado. And I cannot reiterate this enough. You need to get into a basement, the lowest level of your home, an interior room if you don't have a basement, as we are dealing with a dangerous situation here across portions of Bucks Bucks County. So what we went ahead and did here was to basically take off the red so you can see more of the stencil, just because these tornado warnings overlap each other. So we have one tornado warning that runs until 6:15, and it looks like an additional tornado warning has been issued here until 6:45. This does include the Trenton area, also around West Windsor. So as I mentioned, we're probably going to be on the air for a while now, just because we have had confirmation of a large tornado that occurred in Bucks County at 6:01. So we're going to stay on the air here as we continue to track these cells. These warnings, these cells were at once moving easterly. Now these storms are moving southeasterly, and we're getting into some pretty populated areas here. You can see exactly where all of the lightning is right now. Reports of possibly even some hail embedded within this as this cell continues to trek its way to the south and east. So if you are just joining us now on Action News at 6 o'clock, we are on the air here as we continue to track this active severe weather across our area. Confirmation of a large tornado has been spotted in Bucks County. So we're still looking at least a signature here on radar that there is that rotation now passing its way, what looks like just east of 32 there. So Cecily's back. I want to get the latest from her, as this is a dangerous situation.
It really is. You know, I've been here for 25 years, and I can't imagine. I remember when we had a confirmation of a large and dangerous tornado. We have a confirmation that this large and dangerous tornado is over Washington Crossing right now. It's moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. I cannot stress enough, if you live anywhere in this red polygon, you need to get in your basement right away. You need to take this very seriously. If you don't have a basement, just get into the lowest level of your home. Get away from any windows. Get into a closet. Get into a bathroom. Put as many layers between you and the outdoor as possible. We're not talking about just radar indicated. This is a confirmed tornado over Washington Crossing. It's moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. This is a very serious situation. Storm Tracker 6 Live radar showing that right now, that center of circulation, it's moving across the Delaware. It's moving into Mercer County near Pennington right now. You can see this little notch, and we've been watching this radar signature for about 45 minutes now. So it's not something that all of a sudden erupted and then lifted up. I mean, we've seen a really good signature. I don't want to say good, a very strong signature for the better part of an hour. So this is an indication that, yeah, this is legit, what we're talking about right now. And you can see currently, this is actually, is this the debris ball we're looking at?
Debris ball.
Okay, this is, I don't think, this is not something that we've ever shown on the air before, because typically we don't get this. So this is the debris ball. So what we're seeing right now is we're seeing the debris. We're seeing the dirt. We're seeing the trees, the shrubs that are being picked up by this tornado. This is what's called correlation coefficient. So we can see where there's something in the air that isn't like everything else. So a debris ball is typically something that the meteorologists like in Oklahoma will show. This is the first time I've ever shown this on the air. So this shows that this tornado right now is basically right over the Delaware. It's now moved southeast of Moore. It's moving towards Ewing. It's moving into the Mercer County area. So please, if you live near this, you need to seek shelter right away. Bear Tavern, it's basically over you right now. It's heading right over 29, heading towards 295, and it's moving pretty quickly. There's not a lot of warning with this, moving at 25 miles per hour. So that's why I was serious with the tornado warning. If you're anywhere in that polygon, you need to get into your safe place right away. Upper Makefield right now, we've got, this is the relative velocity that shows again that wind direction, and this is a very strong signature. Heading towards Ewing currently, it's probably going to be just to the north of Lower Makefield. I think right now, it's probably going to be crossing south of Pennington, but if you live in Pennington, you should be in your safe place currently, because you've got a lot of thunder and lightning. Currently, that tornado warning is in effect. until 6:45. So you can see it's basically right along the border of Bucks County and Mercer County, a large confirmed tornado, and this continues to push to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. It was confirmed over New Hope, very populated area, so please, if you live in that polygon, you need to seek shelter right away. This is the relative velocity, or this is the reflectivity, I should say, and this shows you the radar. You can see the rain, you can see the lightning strikes. We've had a tremendous amount of lightning. Why don't we go ahead and query this? Over the past 15 minutes, what this can do, the radar can actually count the lightning strikes that we've had. And over the past 15 minutes, we've had 229 lightning strikes. The last time I did this, about half an hour ago, we had 171 lightning strikes. So this storm is intensifying. It's getting stronger. A lot of times when you get severe thunderstorms, they actually weaken as they move, and this is doing the exact opposite. So there's a lot of upper level support with this. I was talking about what it's called a mesoscale convective system. It's a large piece of energy that just doesn't weaken. It stays together for a tremendous amount of hours and miles, and that's exactly what's happening here. So Ewing, Prospect Heights, Trenton, Hamilton, and Yardville, all in the path of the storm system. It's changed direction. It was moving east earlier, and a lot of times tornadoes, they can do this. It's really hard to tell exactly where they're going. It's moving southeast right now, 25 miles per hour. So anyone in the path of that storm system, please seek shelter right away. If you know anybody who lives in those communities, please give them a call. They probably know what's going on, hopefully. And again, this is that debris ball that we're showing. So this is the tornado right here near Upper Makefield. You can see how it's moving southeast. It's pressing towards the Ewing area, and this is an indication that that tornado is actually picking things up. It's picking up dirt. It's picking up branches, trees, shrubbery, perhaps roof shingles, and it's circulating it in the air, and it's all pressing to the east. So the Trenton area, you are in the path of the storm system. If you live in Trenton, please seek shelter right away. This is really serious. Brittany, I want to head it over to you if you have new information.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what Cecily just said. The National Weather Service office, which is based out of Mount Holly, New Jersey, they're saying, we have a chat room that we're able to discuss as things are evolving. They're saying that they are very concerned about this cell that's heading directly toward Trenton. So we're talking about a highly populated area here with this possible tornado. We've already had at least confirmation of this tornado being large and observed, but the National Weather Service stating that they are very concerned at this point for those that live in the Trenton area. But really, we're very concerned about everybody that lives in any of these polygons here. If you live in Burlington, Mercer, Bucks County, and if you see your community in any of these areas, we're going to go over some of them, you need to be in a basement. This is a very dangerous situation that is unfolding right now. You can see here a little bit of a closer inspection of some communities that are under this tornado warning until 6:45. I mentioned Trenton and how the National Weather Service is very concerned. That should not overshadow the fact that we have other communities in this warning. It's just the fact that Trenton is one of the very highly populated areas within our viewing area. So as we look at this cell here, it's continuing to work its way south and east. At one point, it was moving more so due east, but it's kind of changed its pace and its tune here. It's now moving southeast, and you can see where some of this rotation is right now. So we're looking at the area just east of Makefield and just to the south and near Pennington. This is where there could be a tornado right now. We've been showing you different products of how we're able to look at the rotation, as how we're able to look at some of the debris that might be out there, and everything that we're seeing on radar supports the fact that there could be a tornado in progress right now. We've already had confirmation of a large tornado, so this is a very serious and even a life-threatening situation. So please make sure you are staying safe this evening as we continue to track this severe weather. So we put a plot on here so you can see some of the times and the arrival times of when the worst of the storms will be making it to certain communities. 6:22, we have Ewing. So you have a few more minutes. Down to the basement you go if you are not already there. You can grab your phone too and stream us live on our app so you can step away from the TV and get into a safe location. I mentioned the fact that the National Weather Service is very concerned about Trenton. You still have about 18 minutes until the worst of the storm is in your area. Do not wait until 6:34. Get into your safe location right now, as this is a very dangerous situation. 6:38 around Hamilton, 6:41 Whitehorse, 6:45 in Yardville. Again, we're on the air here for a tornado warning that's impacting several counties in our viewing area, and we've already had confirmation of a large tornado this evening. That was in Bucks County a short time ago. That was visually confirmed at 6:01 this evening. So looking at a couple of the roads that intersect this area, you have 206, 295, also 31 here. We put up a couple of different other locations. Prospect Heights, 627. Trenton, again, you have a little bit of time, but don't wait until 6:33. Get into your basement now. Hamilton, 6:38. We have Golden Crest at 6:41 and Yardville at 6:45. So we're continuing to monitor this tornadic activity that's been moving across our area. We've been on the air for a better portion of the last 2 hours as we've been watching these cells across parts of our area. You can actually see the radar loop right now. If you're tuning in from Philadelphia, if you're down at the shore right now, you might be wondering what is going on. I know the severe weather is not impacting you, but we have a lot of people and we care about every single one of you. We want to make sure that you are staying safe, and we're going to stay on the air until that threat for the tornado is no longer out there. I was actually looking at the area in which this tornado warning is from the National Weather Service, and the population within this warning is over 500,000 people. So we're talking about a lot of territory here and a lot of lives in that area. So here's our relative velocity. We've been showing this a couple of times this evening. As Cecily has mentioned, it's kind of one of the tools that we have to look at where that rotation is. We have our outbound winds moving away from the radar, green showing where those winds are moving toward. And when you get a notching like this, or at least a very bright banding, if you will, of the red and the green, the inbound and outbound winds very close together, this is a strong signature of rotation. So right over 295 here, Ewing, between Bear Tavern and Ewing, within this area, that's where we could have a tornado right now. So I want to toss things back over to Cecily, who has an update.
And Brittany, we did get confirmation from the National Weather Service that the tornado right now is right over Ewing. It's heading southeast at 25 miles per hour. It's heading towards the Trenton area. This is a large and extremely dangerous tornado. It has been confirmed on the ground. If you live any place within this red polygon, hopefully you're already there, but if you're not, please go into your basement right away. Get into your safe place. If you don't have a basement, lowest level of your home, away from the windows, an interior room, a bathroom, or a closet. If you live in the Trenton area right now, you need to get in your basement. This is a very serious situation. Again, a confirmed tornado right now located over Ewing, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Storm Tracker 6 Live double scan. Let's zoom right in, and you can see right now Ewing, you are getting hit. We are seeing that very typical radar signature, a hook echo, and this is a very strong signal that yes, this is in fact a tornado, and we do have visual confirmation that it's a large tornado in Ewing right now. It's heading towards Trenton. You can see just how close it is, and this is the debris ball. So this shows the debris that's being kicked up by the tornado. It's the dirt, it's the trees, it's the roof shingles, and you can see right now that debris ball is right over Ewing. That's an indication that's where the tornado is right now. Trenton is at the bottom of your screen. Weber Park, Lower Makefield, Sturwood, Whitehorse, all in the path of this storm system. It's moving very quickly, 25 miles per hour. Very unusual that we get visual confirmation of a large and dangerous tornado. Typically, the radar indicated, or they're quick little EF0s, little spin-ups that just touch down briefly and then they lift off, but this is definitely a different case. I mean, this radar signature, you can see this is not typically something that we see in the area, that there's a very significant hook to that. So what that is the rain that's wrapping around the tornado, the center of that circulation, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. So Green Curve Heights, Prospect Heights, Trenton, Hamilton, Yardville, those are the communities in the direct path of that storm. But again, anyone in that red polygon that I showed you, you need to seek shelter right away. This is a very dangerous, perhaps life-threatening situation right now as it continues to push east or southeast right now at about 25 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and show maybe some of the lightning with this. There's a lot of atmospheric energy that's being unleashed from the storm system. It's really been focused over Bucks County, Lehigh County, Berks County. Now it's over Mercer County right now. The lightning strikes the past 15 minutes. The system is holding together and strengthening at some points. The number of lightning strikes over the past 15 minutes, 224 lightning strikes. Of course, that's an indication you need to be inside anyhow. There is no safe place to be outdoors during a thunderstorm. But when we have a situation like that with a confirmed tornado, again, you want to get as far down into the ground as possible. We don't have tornado shelters here, but we have basements and we do have interior closets and bathrooms. This shows the hail tracks. We have had reports of some hail. And so this is an indication. You can see, first of all, the track of the tornado warned storm, but also the fact that the hail has gotten bigger as it's heading towards Trenton. So that shows you that the storm system is strengthening. There's more uplift with it, so that hail is getting bigger. So instead of the storm kind of losing its strength, it's actually starting to get more strength. It's encountering more shear. It's encountering better dynamics that are really holding it together and helping it strengthen. We do have reports of some flash flooding as well. The precipitation rates with this particular cell close to 2 inches per hour. So there have been some flash flood warnings in effect. Of course, the tornado warning is our main concern, but the flash flood warnings are basically right along the path of that storm. So once the storm moves out, you get the residual flooding. So please be aware that there is going to be flooding in this area. But again, the biggest concern, the tornado warnings. That tornado warning is in effect for basically the border of Bucks and Berks County right now. Particularly concerned with the Trenton area, a large and confirmed tornado located over Ewing, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. So please seek shelter right away if you live anywhere in this red area, because this is a very dangerous situation. That tornado warning is in effect until 6:45, so about the next 20 minutes. But these have been expanding basically throughout the night. So Ewing right now, you're getting hit very hard. Lawrence, currently it's only a few minutes away from Trenton, Route 206. Why don't we go ahead and expand this a little bit farther, show some of the other communities and some of the roads as well. Ewing right now, again, that confirmed tornado, Prospect Heights, Sherwood Hamlet, and we can zoom in and show you some of the roads. Princeton Pike, currently Route 1, Route 31, Ferry Road Manor, any of these roads, this is where we're seeing the strongest part of the storm. We're seeing that center of circulation, and again, a confirmed tornado, which is pretty unusual for this area. Trenton area, you can see right now you're getting the rain, but that tornado is not far from you. It's only a few minutes away from you. So let's go ahead and show the correlation coefficient, Paul, if we could. So see what it's looking like. So all right, so we have, this is the tornado right now. It's over the community of Ferry Road Manor. It's moving into Prospect Heights. We're starting to see a little bit of debris kind of being kicked up near Trenton, but that is the tornado currently. It's crossing Route 31. It's just to the north of West State Street. It's heading towards Trenton. I do think it's going to be in the Trenton area within the next few minutes. So again, if you live in Trenton currently, anywhere in this vicinity, please seek shelter right away. This is a very dangerous situation. Meteorologist Brittany Boyer has some more information. Brittany.
And the National Weather Service is continuing their tornado warning here, which is why we are on the air. We've already had confirmation today of a large and dangerous tornado that has been moving throughout portions of our viewing area here. We're primarily focusing in on areas as we get a little bit closer to Trenton at this point. We're going to stay on the air until at least 6:45. If the National Weather Service drops a tornado warning, we'll go back to programming. Until then, we're going to stay on the air and provide you with the very latest information here. So everywhere that you see this red polygon, if you see your community on here, if you have a loved one that might live in this area and they might not be watching TV, make sure they are safe. You yourself, make sure you're staying safe here, as we are looking at some highly populated areas here. Of course, Trenton, a big concern as we get closer. And Paul, maybe we can populate some of those communities, since I think earlier we were looking at Trenton around, I think, 634. So we're getting a little bit closer to that here. With this tornado warning that runs until 6:45. So you can see a few more of the communities. We have 295 right here, Hamilton, Prospect Heights, Morrisville. We have Route 1, 206, 129, Whitehorse. You are also under this tornado warning. The Groveville area, and you can see in yellow, those are some of the street names. So if you're familiar with this general area and you see your street on here, hopefully by now you are in your basement. So we're kind of getting our bearings here with what's going on at this moment, and we're still dealing with some rotation. It looks like at this point, the rotation with this tornado warned cell is just to the north and east of Trenton. Here's Trenton right here. You're in the shower activity right now. The worst of this is to your north and east. We've been looking at many different products that go along with the fact that we've had an observed tornado out there. We have the rotation, we've had reports of debris, and now we're going to read off a few more communities for you here. We have 633 Warner Village. That's when the worst of this is going to be entering your area. Don't wait until then. Get in your safe location now. Hamilton, 638. We have Golden Crest at 642, Yardville at 645, and Chesterfield until 645. As I mentioned, this tornado warning is until 645. We very well could have this extended by the National Weather Service if they feel the rotation is still there and if this is particularly a dangerous storm. But I can tell you what, this is as vivid as it gets. You don't typically see our relative velocity, at least in this part of the country, showing such a vivid signature of rotation here. We have our inbound and our outbound winds, and we always talk about when you see the red and the green very close together, that's what you don't want to see, and unfortunately that's what we're seeing at this hour. This product is showing us a possible tornado that's still in progress at this point around the Ewing area. Here's Trenton. It's not far away. Please get into your basement right now. Trenton, if you hear me, around the Ewing area, if you hear me as well, this is a dangerous and potentially life-threatening situation here, as this particular product is showing a very vivid signature of a rotating cell moving through the area. So we are looking at portions of New Jersey here. We have been dealing with this cell across Bucks County. It's also impacting Mercer and Burlington counties. The worst of it kind of skirting its way out of Bucks County at this point, but we're still seeing indications here. This is our correlation coefficient product that shows what you would typically show something like this out in the Midwest or out toward Oklahoma, where they have a lot of severe weather. This is pretty rare to see in our area. Indications that there could be debris being lofted up in the air with that thunderstorm that might have a tornado in progress right now. Again, Trenton, this is right to your north. This is very, very close to your area, so I cannot reiterate enough. Be in your safe location right now. So we continue to follow this situation here across parts of New Jersey. I mentioned Bucks County. You can see that the worst of it is now moving out of your area. It doesn't mean that you are completely in the clear, but at this point, it looks like the tornado threat is shifting to your east. A tremendous amount of lightning associated with this cell. Paul, maybe we can kind of highlight how much lightning there is. We've been watching these numbers climb as these thunderstorms have been working their way to the south and east here. So this gives us an idea of the lightning just within the last 15 minutes. 195 lightning strikes. There is a tremendous amount of lightning and a tremendous amount of rain with these storms that are moving through our area here. So again, Trenton, also South Brunswick, all of these areas here, you are getting into the thick of it at this point with a storm that is capable of producing a tornado. Rainfall rates today have also been very high, which is making the situation even more dangerous. dangerous. You shouldn't be looking outside your window right now because that's a dangerous spot to be. But there is a lot of heavy rain too, with rainfall rates anywhere from 1 to even 3 inches per hour. You throw on a tornado threat, it is not a good combination here. So again, Trenton, if you are watching right now and you live in that area, the basement or an interior room is where you want to be. And we're going to check back in with Cecily as we kind of relieve each other and get the latest on what's going on.
Thank you, Brittany. I do want to mention to our viewers, World News Tonight is being streamed right now on our localish channels. We're staying with this because this is a very serious situation now. We have a couple updates. First of all, National Weather Service has indicated that looks like a lot of times with tornadoes, they touch down, they lift up a little bit. That rotation has strengthened near Trenton, so that tornado warning continues, and we're very concerned that there's new development near Route 1 and 295, and there's also a cell in Montgomery County moving into lower Bucks County that we're monitoring as well, and that could spawn a tornado warning. Hasn't yet, but I want to give some people a little bit of a heads up that we're looking at this cell you can see heading towards Warminster, so lots of thunder and lightning, and there can be a little bit of indication. So if you look right here, you can see a little bit of notching, a little bit of a hook echo could be developing. Tornado warning hasn't been issued yet, but the National Weather Service says they are monitoring this, so please be aware that there could be a tornado warning issued for lower Bucks County within the next few minutes. If there is one, Brittany will come over and give us an update. She is monitoring it right now. So now the focus, I really want to do look at the Trenton area. So right now we do have this pretty strong signature of a possible tornado, and a confirmed tornado actually. In fact, it has had visual confirmation that's moving into the Trenton area, right close to Route 1 and 295. So that's where we're seeing that center of circulation. And if you live in Trenton, if you live anywhere in that area, anywhere in the polygon, again, please seek shelter right away. A confirmed and dangerous tornado. It's moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. It's moving into Trenton. It's also heading towards the Bordentown area. So we do have the tornado warning in effect right now. It's for Mercer County, and it's also for parts of Burlington County. Right now, that particular cell, it's moved out of Bucks County. It's over Mercer County right now with its path to the southeast. It's heading towards Burlington County. It's not heading towards Bucks County. So Hamilton, Yardville, Hillside Terrace, Allentown, and Upper Freehold, that's Allentown, New Jersey, all in the path of the storm system. Please seek shelter right away. A confirmed large and dangerous tornado. And again, we are monitoring a cell that's over Montgomery County, possibly heading into lower Bucks County as well. Trenton right now looks like you're on the southern edge of the center of that rotation. It's crossing 295. This is a bad time, being rush hour. I'm hoping that people are off the roads here. That's the worst place you can be. Heading towards Mercerville. Some of the roads that we're looking at, Route 33, Cedar Lane. If you live in Cedar Lane in the area of South Clinton Avenue, I hope you're in your basement in your safe place right now, because that tornado is bearing down on you as we speak. Hamilton, it's heading towards White House Hamilton Square Road. Whitehorse, you're in the path of that storm system, and possibly heading towards Groveville as well. One thing about this particular cell is that we haven't seen it weakening. It's been maintaining strength. It's actually been intensifying over the past hour. And here is that debris ball, again, showing that correlation coefficient. This is something that typically we use in the wintertime to show the difference between sleet and snow. And you can see that that debris ball is right over Trenton right now. It's not looking quite as well defined as when it was over Ewing. So I'm hoping that's a sign that this could be weakening, but right now it shows that it is over Trenton. Currently it's heading towards Whitehorse, and so this is one indication that this is a tornado that is on the ground. Another indication we have to track these tornadic activities is the relative velocity. So you can see we've got the green, that's the wind direction heading towards the radar site. We have the red heading away, and there's a really good signature. I mean, you can see it right now that this tornado moved out of Ewing. It's crossed 206 right now. It's heading across 295. Robbinsville, you are in the path of the storm. Looks like it'll be clipping Yardville as well, possibly heading into Extonville, moving southeast at about 25 miles per hour. So this is another indication that this is, in fact, a tornado that we're tracking moving into a very populated area, into the Trenton area. Hopefully you are seeking shelter. You've already done that well ahead of the storm system, and I think we do have an update. Any new information, Brittany?
Yeah, the National Weather Service just putting out that a large and extremely dangerous tornado has been located over Mercerville, Hamilton Square, or near Trenton. So as Cecily was just reiterating, this is happening right now over the Trenton area, so you need to make sure that you're in your safe place. I mean, hopefully you did that 15 minutes ago, because right now this tornado is moving through the area. I can also update the fact that the tornado warning has been canceled for Bucks County. So if we can go ahead and update that graphic, we're now just looking at Mercer and also Burlington counties with this tornado warning until 6:45. So again, I want to reiterate the new information coming in from the National Weather Service. This is the wording they're putting out. A large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Mercerville, Hamilton Square, or near Trenton. This just came in within the last couple of minutes, and this cell continues to move its way south and east at about 25 miles per hour. They've also given indications, as Cecily mentioned a couple of minutes ago, that this is strengthening here as it continues to move through this area. So I mentioned Trenton. You can see where some of the rotation is right now, where we kind of have this notching right here. Very populated area. I mean, we're talking about 295 right here. We have 195 just to the south. So we're going to populate a couple of different areas just so you have an idea of when this is going to be making its way potentially to where you live. And we want to make sure you're staying safe. Safety is our top priority, which is why we're still on the air right now. Golden Crest, 642. Hillside Terrace, you have until 650. 6:55 in the Allentown area, 7 o'clock in Pullentown, and 7:04 in Upper Freehold. This tornado warning is until 6:45, but this very well could get extended given the fact that a tornado has been confirmed by the National Weather Service. So we're continuing to watch this situation as it unfolds. It's been a very active last couple of hours, not just with the tornado warnings. Look at the hail tracks here. This particular product shows us within the last 2 hours where we've had hail, and it has been pretty continuous here from Solebury to Pennington. You can even make out where we had up to about, let's say, quarter-size hail. I haven't seen any reports that have populated from the National Weather Service, but this is showing up to about 1-inch hailstones, and we've continued to maintain the possibility of some small hail within some of these cells. Paul, I know we haven't shown it in a little bit, but how does the shear look within the last couple of hours, kind of giving people an idea of where some of this rotation has been? I know that's one of the products that we're able to show, and I would imagine that it also has been kind of maintaining itself here as we've continued to stay on the air here. So this particular product, the shear tracks within the last 2 hours, has shown very similar to the hail, where exactly that line has been. I can't say that this tornado has been on the ground the entire time. Cecily mentioned the fact that it kind of might spin up, go back up, and come back down. But there have been a number of communities here that have been impacted by this rotating thunderstorm that has had a history of producing a tornado. We've also seen a lot of rain with these cells that have been moving through the region here. Rainfall rates have just been tremendous today. You've probably noticed it's a lot more humid outside today than how things felt yesterday. Those rise in the dew points are aiding to some of that heavy rain that continues to move on through here. So precipitation rates, if we take a look at how heavy some of this rain has been, a couple of hours ago it was 1 to 1.5 inches per hour. Now we're talking rainfall rates just to the north of Lawrence and just west of Plainsboro of 2.8 inches per hour. These are torrential downpours that are moving through this region, along with that tornado threat, which really just enhances the dangerous factor with this that we're watching this evening. We've also had a couple of flash flood warnings that have been prompted due to this heavy rainfall, and you'll notice that we have a few communities here under a flash flood warning. That's until 10 o'clock tonight. I always say it, turn around, don't drown, don't get yourself in a bad situation tonight as we are dealing with heavy rainfall, hail, and also a couple of communities that have had a confirmed tornado. So we're going to continue to stay on the air here. It's 6:41 right now. This tornado warning is until 6:45. There's the possibility that that gets extended by the National Weather Service. We'll await that call from the meteorologists there as they continue to keep an eye on these storm dynamics. So here we have Trenton. At this point, the worst of it is just off to your north and east, but behind this cell, we also have plenty of heavy rain that's going to be coming in right behind it. So some areas that possibly have debris or trees down, you're going to be dealing with another batch of heavy rainfall. But the more concerning area is right in here. So again, northeast and just east of Trenton, that's where we're seeing the worst of the activity right now. So right over 295 there. Also, Route 130 we have here, 133, 206. You're potentially seeing hail right now with this cell. It continues to move its way south and east. Here's a few more communities that we're able to show you. 645, we have the Robbinsville area, 652 in Allentown, Polandtown, 656, Upper Freehold, 7 o'clock, and Plumstead, 7:11. So we are awaiting the latest information from the National Weather Service. This tornado warning was set to expire at 6:45. We'll let you know as soon as we know what the game plan is next for that tornadic cell here. So as we continue to watch this, again, Trenton, you're right here. The worst of it now just off to your east at this point, but we're still looking at some problems around the Mercerville area, Briar Manor, and also points on east here. We have Route 130 right in here. So a few other spots, Lawrence, Port Mercer, Dutch Neck, also East Windsor. You are in the worst of the storm at this point. So again, we're following a lot of wild weather tonight here across our area. We've had multiple tornado warnings over the last couple of hours. A very dangerous evening that we've had here across our area as we continue to monitor the very latest on this evolving situation. So I want to check in with Cecily. I don't know if you happen to see, did they extend the warning or?
Yeah, nothing yet. I know it's set to expire in 2 minutes, so we're waiting for indication if they've extended it. I want to show you the radar. So I want to show you two different things. First of all, when we're looking towards the Montgomery County area, I'm watching this near Upper Dublin, just to the east of Upper Dublin, north of 73, near 63, monitoring this radar. It looks like there is some signature that some rotation is beginning in this particular cell. We do not have any tornado warnings for this area right now, but this is something I just want to let you know. If you live in this area, please stay weather aware in case the National Weather Service does issue a tornado warning. It looks like there's pretty good signature right now north of Abington that there could be a tornado trying to develop. A lot of times in a situation like this, you get the rotation higher in the atmosphere before it actually reaches the ground. When it reaches the ground, that's when it would become a tornado. But some of the communities in the path of this particular cell where it looks like a tornado is trying to form, Bernathan, Somerton, Home Circle, and Ben Salem. So if you live in this area, please stay weather aware. Be prepared to move into your safe place if you have to. Again, we don't have a tornado warning for this, but the National Weather Service has indicated that they are monitoring this particular cell because it looks like it is trying to form a tornado. We still have that tornado warning. Okay, well now it's been extended until 7:30. So this is really staying together. So this tornado warning now, Trenton City, you are out of it. So the threat has now passed east of Trenton, just to the east. I mean, you're basically on the border between the tornado warning and the severe thunderstorm warning. So there's still some active weather, so still stay in your safe place, but that threat has now extended. Thank you so much. Till 7:30 right now, so a large section of Burlington County. So now we do have and Mercer, including Mercer and Ocean County. So this is until 7:30. Now this is a radar indicated tornado. A cell capable of producing a tornado is over Edinburgh right now. It's 7 miles east of Trenton, and this cell is also moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. So we had the large and dangerous tornado confirmed on the ground near Trenton. Now this one is radar indicated over Edinburgh, and again moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. This is 7 miles east of Trenton. So that's why Trenton, you can see how that tornado threat has now just pushed to your east. Robbinsville, Meadows Terrace, Yardville, Upper Freehold, Sharon, Maryland, New Jersey, all in this tornado warning. The tornado warning in effect until 7:30. So it looks like it's moving basically out of Mercer County through parts of Burlington County into Ocean County, as well as it continues to track southeast at 25 miles per hour. And I should also mention that this particular cell I showed you for Montgomery County and Lower Bucks County, that's now where we have a severe thunderstorm warning. So basically we're tracking two cells, one a severe thunderstorm warning in Lower Bucks, and now that tornado warning that's moving out of Mercer County, moving into Ocean County. Lightning strike, Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing tremendous amount of lightning. We're looking over the past 15 minutes. We can go ahead and query this, and we've had, it's not going to show, but I think we've probably had about 200 lightning strikes over the past, no, that's not right. One lightning strike, come on. That's like in one, all right, 131 lightning strikes. Thank you. So lots of atmospheric energy being unleashed from these storms. Also, we're getting a pretty good signature of some hail crossing 206 right now. And again, that tornado threat has now pushed to the east of Trenton. This shows the relative velocity. So we're looking to see, there we got a little bit of that. So yeah, definitely east of Trenton right now. So this shows that the center of circulation with this particular cell is now east of Trenton. It's moving east of Mercerville as well. It's moving towards Robbinsville, crossing Route 130 likely. So this shows the inbound and the outbound wind direction where we're getting that atmospheric spin. And again, this particular cell, this is radar indicated. We're not getting visual confirmation yet, but we have had quite a few reports of wind damage across our viewing area. I think Northampton County, about 4 homes reporting some damage from these winds gusting with this particular cell more than 50 miles per hour. And I think when we do get the storm reports, it's going to be a lot higher than that. Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing the Trenton area right now getting a little bit of a reprieve. We've got some heavy thunderstorms moving through Lower Bucks County. Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect there. Not a tornado warning, fortunately, but we do have that tornado warning in effect parts of Burlington, Mercer, and Ocean counties as well. Northampton County, some very heavy rain. Bensalem, Bucks County, you're getting some rain, but the heaviest part of that storm is to the north, and this is also moving southeast at about 25 miles per hour. So Bordentown, you are in the path of that particular storm as well. So why don't we go ahead? You want to go ahead and show, why don't we look at correlation coefficient to see if we're showing anything with that tornado warning? So we had a really strong signature with that when the confirmed large and dangerous tornado was over Ewing. Now that tornado warning has pushed to the east and the south. So near Robbinsville right now, reporting some real heavy thunder and lightning. So this is a pretty good indication. I mean, this doesn't look quite as intense. So that makes me feel a little bit better about things. So when we did have that confirmed tornado on the ground, basically between Ewing and Trenton, we had a very strong signature of a debris ball. Not seeing it here, but that being said, when you do have tornado warnings, you really want to take things very seriously, especially tonight, because a lot of this is likely going to verify. So Storm Tracker 6 live double scan. Let's show you where the storm is heading. Trenton, right now, you're out of it. You're just getting the rain, the thunder, and the lightning crossing Route 95. It's heading towards Upper Freehold right now, moving southeast at about 25 miles per hour. And Lawrence, you're hearing the thunder, you're seeing the lightning. It's raining very heavily, but the strongest part of your storm, that's now pushed south and east of your viewing area. So New Canton, Pullentown, Upper Freehold, Prospertown, Woodair Estates, all in the path of this tornado warned storm. And again, this particular tornado warning, this is radar indicated. The National Weather Service radar is indicating that there's a storm cell that's capable of producing a tornado. This one in particular, we don't have visual confirmation, but that cell is capable of spinning up a tornado. So this is why you do have to seek shelter immediately. Head into your basement if you have a basement. If you don't have a basement, the lowest level of your home, away from the windows. You want to be in a bathroom or interior closet, basically as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible. New Canton right now looks like the center of the circulation is right over you, and lots of lightning strikes associated with this, heavy downpours. We do have some flash flood warnings in effect as well. We've been focusing on the wind and the tornadic activity, but the flash flooding can cause lots of problems as well. We've had the humidity levels, the dew points around 70 degrees today, so you get one of these cells push through, you get a lot of rain in a short period of time. So we do have a flash flood warning in effect until 10 o'clock for parts of Bucks County and Mercer County. So we do have reports that there is in fact flash flooding happening. So this is another indication why this is a good night to just hunker down, stay in your safe place, and not a good night for traveling, especially in this area and actually especially north of Philadelphia. This has really been the focus of all the activity. So why don't we go ahead and I'll kind of backtrack here and show you what we're looking at. So, Paul, you're going to have to, sorry about that. We got a lot of colors going on right here. So, our computer, I'm just going to talk about it. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Montgomery County, parts of Bucks County, parts of Mercer County, and then we have this tornado warning that's in effect for Mercer County, for Ocean County, for Monmouth County until 7:30. This is a radar indication that there could be a cell capable of producing a tornado. This is really the same area that was hit, or just east of the area that was hit with that confirmed large tornado. And Trenton right now, you're not in that tornado warning, thank goodness, but there's still a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7:30. Basically, this kind of weather, if you live in any of these areas, you do not want to be outside. If you live within the tornado warning in that red polygon, you want to get in your safe place. Please seek shelter immediately. Get into your basement because this can be a serious situation. Levittown right now, you're dealing with some heavy rain. Bensalem, you're on the cusp. You're hearing the thunder. You're probably seeing the lightning. That's heading your way. That's that severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 7:30. It's been a very stormy night, and meteorologist Brittany Boyer is here with either an update or just to give me a break.
Just to give you a
Thank you.
We're going to keep it real. We're trying to relieve each other as we've been on the air continuously for a while now, tracking some of these tornado warnings. No particular update coming in yet from the National Weather Service, but we're starting to get more and more reports of trees down, wires down, homes that have been impacted here. And what we're going to do is continue to watch this line as it kind of drops its way to the south and east. So a couple more communities here still in the path of these strong thunderstorms. You can see the timestamp right next to it. That's when the worst of it arrives in your area. So Upper Freehold around 6:56. We have what looks like Wallingford at 7 o'clock, Midwood at 7:10, 7:14 in Plumstead, and Legler at 7:21. So we're continuing to stay on the air here as we track these strong storms that have already had a history of producing confirmed tornadoes that have been reported to the National Weather Service. So we're still looking at areas in Mercer County, Ocean County, and also into Burlington County too. There is still a pretty good signature here on our relative velocity of that rotation at this point. So if you're in the Robbinsville area and points just to the north of that, this cell is right over your area right now. So you can see Route 130 here. We have 195 just south of there. So we're looking between Robbinsville and Meadows Terrace here. Maybe we can zoom on in a little bit more to pop in some of those street names in case people are watching in this particular area right now. So we have Robbinsville, Edinburgh Road. We have Sharon Road right here. We have 33 and we have 130. So North Main Street, you're not too far away from that. I-95 right here and 195 just to the south. So our relative velocity still showing that rotation in the atmosphere right now. So this is still a dangerous situation as this cell continues to move on through the region. As we look at what's going on with the big picture of things, I mentioned the fact that we're starting to get more reports of damage. If you're looking for a tornado icon on here, we're not going to get that. We won't get that until the National Weather Service goes out to conduct their storm surveys, and I suspect that they're probably going to be pretty busy doing that tomorrow, assessing the damage. They assess the damage based off of the reports they get from the public. So if you happen to have any damage where you live, once you're safe, give the National Weather Service a call and let them know any damage that might be in your area. One of the newer reports that are coming in was at 5:57 here. This was in the New Hope area. Numerous reports of trees and lines down in New Hope. Possible tornado, and this is one of the communities that we had the threat of that large and dangerous tornado. So like I said, the National Weather Service is going to be looking at some of these locations that have experienced damage here so far today. We've had reports as well off to the west across the Lehigh Valley of damage. And now we continue to watch these thunderstorms as they continue to work their way now east of Trenton. I want to note the fact that the tornado threat is over in Trenton. Unfortunately, the heavy rain threat is not over. We're talking really heavy downpours moving through some of these areas that were just under a tornado warning. So although the tornado threat might have ended, it's still a good idea to stay put where you are until all of this clears out of the region. So here you can see, this is going with what I'm talking about. There has been a tremendous amount of rain with these thunderstorms. A flash flood warning is in effect here for two different polygon areas here. We have one right in this zone until 10 o'clock, and then we have a flash flood warning here until 11 o'clock, and that does include areas like West Windsor, Monroe, Millstone, also in Jackson. We've been looking at those rainfall rates throughout this evening, and we've had rainfall rates at times anywhere from 1 to even 3 inches, nearly 3 inches per hour. So this is what I'm talking about here. As we get into some of these darker purple colors or brighter purple colors, and even some of the whites that are popping up here on our rainfall rates, those are rainfall rates nearly 2.5 inches plus per hour. So that's why we're getting these flash flood warnings that are being issued by the National Weather Service. Not a good idea to go out, especially if you have a flooded road. If your community is one of these towns currently under tornado warning, the best place you can be is inside at this hour. So as we look at some of the ongoing warnings here, we have the tornado warning that we just mentioned, and we also have a severe thunderstorm warning. It's kind of trailing right behind where this tornado warning has gone through. So although you're not looking at a tornado threat, I do know that the National Weather Service in their wording for this severe thunderstorm warning is tagging it as tornado possible. So it's not radar indicated, but there could be a tornado. So you too want to make sure you are staying safe this evening. So these are our ongoing tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. They both continue until 7:30. It's 6:59 right now. If any of the tornado warnings are allowed to expire from the National Weather Service, we will go back to programming. If you're looking to tune into Jeopardy right now, you can find that on our Local-ish channel. It's playing there right now, but we're going to stay on the air to make sure that you stay safe as the tornado threat continues across the region. Now, something that I am noticing here is that our lightning, it is starting to weaken in a way. You can see how this plays out with the last couple of minutes. We still have lightning, but it's not nearly as significant as what it has been. We're down to 36 lightning strikes within the last 15 minutes. At one point, we had nearly 200 lightning strikes in a 15-minute time frame. So this cell, again, at this point, isn't tornado warned, but the National Weather Service is tagging this severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible. So you still need to take it seriously. If it gives you peace of mind to be in the basement right now, I'm not going to argue with that. We want you to stay safe. If you live in Croydon, 704, the worst of it getting to your area, 709 Somerset Park, Willingboro at 712, West Hampton there at 717, and Mount Holly at 7:22. So again, this cell not tornado warned, but it is being tagged as tornado possible with that severe thunderstorm warning. So let's go ahead and take a look at our warning once again, Paul, where we have that tornado warning. Again, the cell we just went over, that's a severe thunderstorm warning. That's in yellow. Tornado warning is in red here, and that continues until 7:30 tonight. And that includes portions of Mercer, also into Ocean and Burlington counties, as this cell continues to cross its way slightly to the south and east there. So we're continuing to monitor this situation. It's been a very busy last couple of hours here. We have had some reports of confirmed tornadoes. Like I said earlier, the National Weather Service is going to have to go out and conduct their storm surveys to see all of the damage that has played out. Let's check in with Cecily for more.
And Brittany, we just got word from the National Weather Service that a cell capable of producing a tornado is near Windsor, New Jersey, and it's now moving east at 20 miles an hour. So it's changed its direction a little bit. Instead of southeast, it's now moving east. So here you can see East Windsor right now. I think you probably have some hail. Looks like that is the cell that, again, is capable of producing the tornado, and that continues to push to the east. Looks like we do have a little bit of a notching near Robbinsville as well. It's going to have to watch that. So these cells right now have been staying together pretty well. This one in particular, again, this is radar indicated. So we do have that tornado warning that continues for parts of Ocean, for parts of Monmouth and Mercer County until 7:30. So a Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing that we're really dealing with two cells. We've got that one cell that's over Windsor that could be capable of producing a tornado. And we have another severe thunderstorm cell that's moving through Bucks County, Montgomery County, also moving into parts of Philadelphia. And the National Weather Service says that that could also produce a tornado. So that's something we're really going to have to watch. This shows the relative velocity. Again, you probably know this, you've been watching for the past few hours, that this shows where the winds are. The green is the wind that's heading towards the radar site. The red is heading outbound. It looks like we do have a little bit of some gate-to-gate shear right now near Route 1, near Torresdale, so that could be an indication of some rotation in the atmosphere. We have had quite a few reports of some wind damage. So heading towards, all right, this is the one that I'm watching. So this does show for the tornado warning that looks like there is a little bit of that gate-to-gate shear. Now this particular cell is getting farther away from our radar site, so that's why sometimes this signature is not quite as strong, but it looks like there's some possible rotation that's heading right across I-95 right now, heading towards Sharon, heading towards Millstone, and again moving east right now. So earlier it was moving southeast, now it's kind of taken a jog to the east. So these storms, this is why we have to keep giving you updates. They can change direction, so that's why you really have to stay weather aware. That's why we had the tornado watch in effect for our entire viewing area until 9 o'clock tonight, because we have been seeing quite a few of these cells either producing a confirmed tornado or this particular one producing the cell capable of spawning a tornado. Lots of lightning strikes near Millstone right now, near Monroe, and it looks like there's also some hail likely produced in the storm. So this is an indication just how strong the storms are. There's a significant updraft that can pull that raindrop high into the atmosphere where it's cold enough that it turns into ice, and the longer it stays up there, it kind of bounces around, the bigger the hail. And we have had reports of quite a bit of hail out there, and that's going to kind of add to the damage reports. So some of the towns in the path of the storm, again, it's moving, Paul, it's moving east. Is it moving east at 20? East-southeast at 20 miles per hour. So Sharon, Wrightsville, Stone Tavern, Millstone, and Siloam, I think I'm pronouncing Siloam, in the path of that storm. I apologize if I mispronounced that. So if you live in those areas, please seek shelter right away. Head into your basement, head into the lowest floor of your building, away from the windows. A lot of these storm systems have been reporting a tremendous amount of wind damage. We've had reports of some roofs being torn off of buildings. We've had reports of wind gusts more than 50 miles per hour. And this shows the hail. So this shows the hail track over the past 2 hours. and basically shows the path of the tornado. So this was with the confirmed large and dangerous tornado that we were tracking that moved out of Bucks County and basically made a path through Mercer County. And you can see, especially just to the north of Ewing, this is where we had hail up to an inch in diameter. So that's pretty impressive. Typically, we don't get really large hail in storm systems in this area, but that shows just how strong I think that storm really reached its peaks. And the shear tracks also showing this was the path that particular confirmed tornado moving out of Bucks County through Mercer County over the past 2 hours, sinking gradually to the southeast, moving at about 25 miles per hour. All the activity has been north of Philadelphia, but why don't we show Storm Tracker? I want to show also the cell that is producing the severe thunderstorm warning. So if you live in South Jersey, if you live in Delaware, you're saying, what's going on? There's not much activity at all. Northern Philadelphia, we were kind of clipped by this cell. It's moving through Bensalem right now, northeast Philadelphia. Lots of thunder and lightning associated with this. This is where we have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7:30. And the National Weather Service is saying also with this particular cell, a tornado is possible. So this is why even when it's just a severe thunderstorm warning, you do need to seek shelter right away. You do not want to be in the path of a storm system like this, and also lots of lightning strikes associated with it. And if you hear thunder, you are close enough to being struck by lightning. There is no safe place outdoors in a thunderstorm, even garden variety thunderstorms. So some of the storms in the path of this particular cell, which again is a severe thunderstorm warning, Somerset Park, Willingboro, West Hampton, Lumberton, and Pemberton, all in the path of the storm. That severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 7:30 tonight. We'll have to see if they extend it past 7:30. These cells that we've been tracking tonight, they have a history of holding together pretty well. Unfortunately, they haven't been weakening very much. We've had a good upper level support. It's been one of those days where we had a lot of cloud cover earlier today, so that helped stabilize the atmospheres, but sometimes you can get enough shear that it overcomes the cloud cover and it creates storms that can fire up and can really stay strong for hours upon hours, and that's really what we've been dealing with tonight. Let's head over and show that tornado warned storm. We have that tornado warning that's in effect right now for parts of Ocean, Monmouth, and Mercer County, and this right now I'm not seeing a really good signature. I'm seeing a lot of heavy rain. Is the lightning still on this? You turned it off, okay. All right, well, we turned off, there we go. We do have quite a bit of lightning now near Manalapan, but also some hail. So this cell right now, it appears to be kind of starting to lose some of its gusto. So hopefully that's a good indication that they will possibly be canceling the tornado warning. Right now there's lots of lightning near Manalapan. There's some hail. There's some heavy rain as well, but I'm not seeing a really strong signature. So hopefully Brittany Boyer has some good news for us. Now, well, gotta toss it to her anyhow.
No good news. We have another tornado warning. Yeah, bad news. The National Weather Service issuing yet another tornado warning. It ends at the same time at 7:30. This tornado warning includes portions of Burlington, Bucks, you can hear it, and parts of Philadelphia counties. This is radar indicated at this point. So again, right here, the cell that Cecily and I have really been keeping our eye on the last 15 or so minutes, the National Weather Service has now issued a tornado warning. This polygon here includes portions of Burlington, Bucks, and Philadelphia counties. This warning is until 7:30. The cell capable of producing a tornado was located over Feasterville, Trevose, or 11 miles northeast of Philadelphia, and currently it's moving east at 25 miles per hour. So I'm going to read that again. This cell capable of producing a tornado was located over Feasterville, Trevose, or 11 miles northeast of Philadelphia, and Trevose. Thank you. The cell was moving east at 25 miles per hour. So we've got two different areas that we're watching for tornado warnings right now. You can see that we're about to plot some locations for you here. Bensalem, 7:12. We have Croydon at 7:20. Bristol 725, Stevens 729, and Bustleton at 735. If you're just joining us now on Action News, we continue to follow the latest developments of severe weather. Now another tornado warning for parts of our area, and this particular warning that we're kind of looking at this moment includes portions of Burlington, Bucks, and also Philadelphia County. So we're going to go ahead and look at some of the rotation. I've been watching this kind of behind the scenes. There is some decent rotation here that we're able to see on the relative velocity, where we're getting that red and that green very close together. We're going to be looking at this area kind of right in here with some of that rotation. So we have 63. We also have I-95 just to the south here. So again, the rotating cell right in this general area here that we're watching for. This is radar indicated. So what that means is when the National Weather Service put their warning out, nobody has physically seen a tornado. Doesn't mean there isn't one. This storm has the capabilities of producing a tornado. So again, if you are tuning in from parts of Burlington, Bucks, and also Philadelphia County, you are under a tornado warning as this cell moves its way to the east at about 25 miles per hour. So we're going to put a couple more locations on the map for you here. Right now it's 7:11, so you have 5 minutes, Ben Salem. Don't wait. Get down into your basement now, the lowest level of your home, a safe location. Croydon, 722. The worst of it is moving through your area. In the Bristol area, 727. Florence, 733. And 740 sharp. It's a good way to remember that. 740 sharp, it's coming through sharp. So this is a very serious situation that we're watching tonight here. We've had multiple tornado warnings. We've had reports of confirmed tornadoes. And until 7:30, we have 2 different tornado warnings. So I just went over the newest warning that was just issued by the National Weather Service. We also continue to watch this warning here that's impacting portions of, I believe it's still Mercer and also Ocean counties. That's until 7:30 tonight. So there's a lot going on right now. We can go over some safety tips here because this is very important. We don't always have tornado warnings across our area, but tonight is a particularly serious situation given the fact there have been reports of confirmations with tornadoes. So the best place you can be is down into the lowest level of your home. A basement is of preference if you have a basement. If you don't have a basement, you can still get into an interior room. Maybe you have a hallway, maybe you have a closet. Even the bathroom is a spot that you can get. Try and get somewhere that has no windows, because that's the first thing that's going to kind of go if you get really strong winds. You don't want glass blowing into your face. Granted, our fingers are crossed that doesn't happen to anybody, but you want to be away from windows in that interior room in the basement and stay there until the tornado threat is no longer out there. We're going to stay on the air until that tornado threat is no longer out there. You can stream our weather also on our 6ABC app. So plug it in on your phone, go where you have to go to be in a safe location, and stay there until we say that you can leave that area. So again, we're watching this cell here. At one point, it was a severe thunderstorm warning. The National Weather Service, looking at some of the different radar products, went ahead and issued a tornado warning. Nothing has been confirmed or spotted by the public, but as we've seen with these cells already this evening, they have the potential of spinning up tornadoes. We've had reports of damage already across parts of Bucks County, also across parts of New Jersey, as these cells have been pretty strong moving through the region. So we're putting a few more locations on here just to give you some perspective. We can't get everyone's community, but we're going to do our best to let you know the locations that are in the path of this possible tornado. So at 7:18, we have Edgewater Park, we have Willingboro at 7:23, Westhampton at 7:28, Mount Holly at 7:33, and Scratch Ridge at 7:39. The warning runs until 7:30. Of course, if it gets extended, we will continue to stay on the air and track the very latest. So I don't know, Paul, what should we look at? Maybe the shear tracks for this area to see if it maybe shows the progression within the last 10 to 15 minutes with any rotation. I mean, there's some. It's not as continuous as what we've seen with the cells a bit farther to the east, but our shear tracks are showing that there has been some rotation out there. So again, this is a very serious situation as we continue to watch the potential of a tornado that could develop here in parts of our area. This tornado warning continuing until 7:30 for parts of Bucks, Burlington, and also Philadelphia counties. You can see some of that shear. It's not very strong, but you know, anything that we see here locally that pops up on there is an indication that we really need to take cover and take this very seriously. So as we zoom on into the warning, you can see in red where that tornado warning is. It does include Route 1. Also, we have 295 here, 13, 130, and also 413, parts of the New Jersey Turnpike also within that warning right now. So I want to toss things over to Cecily to see if there's anything new.
Yeah, and Brittany, it's no longer just radar indicated. We have a confirmed tornado near the Yosemite Mall in Bensalem. So if you live in this area, again, please seek shelter immediately. This is a very serious situation. That tornado warning is in effect. So that confirmed tornado in Bensalem right over the Yosemite Mall, moving east at 25 miles per hour. So let's show you what we're looking at right now. So here it is over Bensalem right now. It's crossing Route 13. We have a large indication of hail in addition to the rotation with this. Lots of thunder and lightning, some very heavy rain heading towards Edgewater Park, heading towards Bristol, Willingboro. Paul, is it moving east or is it moving southeast at 25 miles an hour? Brittany, can you read that for me? I just want to double check. It is moving east at 25 miles per hour. So that is that particular, again, that is a confirmed tornado over the Yosemite Mall in Bensalem right now, moving east at 25 miles per hour. So trying to see if we have a correlation coefficient showing this. Looks like it is right over Bensalem, crossing Route 13. It's heading towards Bristol, heading towards Burlington as well. So that's why we do have that tornado warning in effect. It's been a very active night. This shows some of the relative velocity, the wind direction. It looks like we are picking some of this up near Bensalem. Sometimes this particular product lags a few minutes behind. So what you're seeing right now west of Bensalem likely is over Bensalem, and it will be working to the east towards the Bristol area. So let's go back and show the warnings. I want to show because we got a couple cells that we're talking about. So this particular one I'm talking about, about a half an hour ago, we were watching that cell that was over Montgomery County. It was north of Abington, and the radar was indicating that there could be a bit of shear. Now we have confirmation that there is a tornado on the ground in Bensalem. It's moving east, kind of east-southeast at about 25 miles per hour. So that tornado warning is in effect until 7:30. That's one of them. We also have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect there, and it is looking like near Delanco. Also, we're seeing some of that hooking, some of that wrapping around of the center of circulation, the rain-wrapped tornado. Burlington right now, you've got some heavy rain, thunder, and lightning. It's likely heading towards Willingboro, heading towards the New Jersey Turnpike, and some hail associated with this. So we've got also flash flooding, didn't mention that. So we have wind damage, we have hail, we have lightning, and we have flash flooding. So there are a lot of factors to these storms that, show you that this is a situation where you do not want to be outside in this. Some of the communities in the path of this particular tornado, confirmed tornado, again over Bensalem, Edgewater Park, Burlington Park, Willingboro, West Hampton, and Mount Holly, all in the path of the storm. A very populated area, so please seek shelter immediately if you are under that tornado warning. Again, that continues. That's in effect until 7:30. Why don't we go ahead and show the other one as well? We have two tornado warnings. The other one right now is farther to the east with another cell that we've been tracking. It appears that that one could have been weakening a bit. So that is heading towards Ocean County right now. That tornado warning is also in effect until 7:30. We've had a situation where we had several cells spinning up tornadoes through the night. all north of Philadelphia, and not only the radar indicated tornadoes, but also confirmed tornadoes on the ground, which is pretty unusual for this area. So Manalapan right now, you're dealing with thunder and lightning, some hail near Monroe. Looks like it's heading towards Freehold, continuing to push to the east. All of these storms have been moving at about 25 miles per hour, so they're moving at a pretty good clip. You don't want to be taken by surprise. That's why those tornado warnings, they're typically a pretty broad polygon, since you want to get into your safe place well before the storms are actually on top of you. We can probably show the shear tracks maybe to show some of the path of these storms. Once we get past this particular cell that's over Bensalem, I really think that things will finally quiet down. I think we've had more than 3 hours of tracking storms. So this is that one tornado that moved through the Trenton area that's now moving towards Ocean County. It looks like the shear tracks show that, fortunately, this particular cell appears to be weakening. So this is what we would like to see. We'd like to see the storms weakening instead of holding together really well. How about the one over Bensalem? Why don't we go ahead and show that? So we do have a bit of shear track there as well. So that's an indication when we talk about shear in the atmosphere, it's the twisting of the winds, the kind of twirling, and what can spawn a tornado. So when you get the shear, when you get the wind changing directions, different levels of the atmosphere, that's what can kick off a tornado. And this shows the hail. This is, wow, I mean, that's really impressive. So this particular cell, the confirmed tornado near the Chamonix Mall, the hail, looks like we have hail. This is the strongest hail. Yeah, 1.5 inches. So I think if, once this is all over and you can safely get out of your basements, if you have any photos of hail, send it to 6ABC or send it to my social media accounts, because that's pretty unusual that we have hail that is that large, 1.5 inches in diameter. Even this cell that moved through Ewing, that hail was not quite as intense, but that's an indication of the strength of the storm when you have the updrafts that can pull that raindrop so high in the atmosphere that it freezes and then it kind of bounces around. The stronger the updraft, the longer that hail stays up there until gravity can pull it down to earth. The longer it's up there, the larger it gets. So that's an indication that this is a really strong storm that we're dealing with over the Bensalem area. This shows relative velocity, and we are seeing a little bit of a signature here that there is some of that twisting of the wind, that you got the inbound and the outbound wind right next to each other near Bensalem. Looks like that is heading into the Edgewater Park area as well. And we have seen some pretty strong signatures on our radar throughout the night, really over the past almost 3.5 hours, that these storms do have some twisting. And that's why earlier today, that tornado watch was posted for our entire viewing area until 9 o'clock. So unfortunately, it's verified that we've had several tornado warnings right now, I think almost a half dozen. And we've also had several confirmed tornadoes on the ground. So you can also see this relative velocity right now heading towards Manalapan. So it looks like that is a good indication that that storm does have some rotation. This is radar indicated that there could in fact be a tornado heading that way. And that's why we do have that tornado warning, and also a Bensalem, that relative velocity. Why don't we go ahead and show some storm reports? Because I think I want to look at the bigger picture right now, because the storm started, it was around 4 o'clock when everything really started to intensify. And these storms, most of the reports right now we have are of wind damage. And, of course, this will come with a tornado. Typically, the day after we get tornadoes, that's when the National Weather Service will send out a survey team, and they'll survey the site and figure out just how strong the tornado was, the path of the tornado. We do have wind damage in Weisenberg Township, a roof torn off a building, which possible radar damage. Looks like that happened at 4:15. A lot of trees and wires down. How about the New Hope area, Paul? I'm thinking that maybe we can go there and see if there's some, oh, there we go. So that's where we did have that confirmed large and dangerous tornado over New Hope. That was around 5:30 tonight, I think. Close to 6 o'clock, 5:57. So numerous reports of trees and lines down in New Hope with that large and confirmed large tornado that moved through. So I do think that we're going to have a lot of power outages, unfortunately. A lot of wind damage report. All of these storms north of Philadelphia, really, this is where we had the best dynamics, and unfortunately, this is where we're looking at most of the damage. Brittany Boyer is here with some new information. Brittany.
A couple different things. One thing that I can report is that the tornado warning has been canceled for Philadelphia County, so that's an update coming into us from the National Weather Service. We still have 2 different tornado warnings. But one of the things that just came in was a tornado was confirmed over Burlington at 7:23, so just a couple of minutes ago. We're 12 miles south of Trenton, and it's moving east at 30 miles per hour. So again, the National Weather Service saying a tornado has been confirmed over Burlington at 7:23 this evening. It's 12 miles south of Trenton, and it's moving east at about 30 miles per hour. So here we are with one of our warning areas that we're watching. Bristol down to Edgewater Park, also Willingboro, Sharp on the kind of fringe, the eastern fringe of it. You're under this tornado warning until 7:30. This also includes the New Jersey Turnpike. And as I just mentioned, a tornado has been confirmed over Burlington within just the last couple of minutes. Another update was that Philadelphia County is no longer under a tornado warning. So we continue to watch this cell here as it continues to move through. I mean, the worst of it right now, right over the New Jersey Turnpike here. When we show the reds on the radar, that's really heavy rainfall. But when you start to get into some of those purples, it's not just the threat of heavy rainfall, it's also the potential of hail too. And we have had reports of up to 1-inch hail in Burlington County. Currently, these tornado warnings are not just warning for a tornado, but they're also warning for up to 1.5-inch hailstones here. So as we put a track on this, we can give you a few different communities here. The first community until 7:42 on that list, 7:48 in Comical Corners, Fort Dix at 7:52, and New Hanover at 7:56. You want to be in your safe location here as we continue to watch this cell as it moves east. It's moving relatively quickly. It's moving at about 30 miles per hour at this point. So again, if you're just joining us here on 6ABC, we continue to monitor the severe weather that's moving across the area. We have 2 different tornado warnings that are impacting several different communities here. This is just one of them that we're watching right now. As we work our way a bit farther to the north and east here, you can see where we've got some really active weather right now. Also some indications that there could be some hail too. So both of these areas really being threatened with hail, tornadoes, heavy rainfall, also lightning too. We have Sweetman, the worst of it, getting to your area at 7:32 tonight. Stonehurst East at 7:43. Burgerville at 7:46. Howell at 7:53, and Farmingdale at 7:56. If I read off any community, which is where you live, or if you have a loved one that lives in that area that might not know there's a tornado warning, please get into your safe location. We've already had a couple of these warnings come across from the National Weather Service with confirmation of tornadoes. As we all know, tornadoes can be deadly and destructive, so this is a situation that you need to take very, very seriously tonight. So we're going to look at the relative velocity here, and you can see that we do have a pretty vivid signature of rotation right now from East Windsor and right along 33 there. We have I-95. So from East Windsor toward the Sharon area and also Millstone, that is where we are seeing the threat of this tornado at this point. So again, you need to be in your safe location here, as this is a very serious situation, as there are 2 different areas within our viewing area currently under a tornado warning. We're also looking at this general area here. excuse me, around the area just to the south of Bristol. Also, we have 130 here, the Willingboro area. Also, as you drop your way a little bit farther south, at least a little bit of rotation showing there on the relative velocity. But these are just two of the areas that our radar signatures are showing that rotation at this hour. So if you're just joining us right now, one of the latest updates in from the National Weather Service came through at 7:23. A radar confirmed over Burlington, or about 12 miles south of Trenton. At this point, it has moved a bit of a ways from that location, but these storms mean business. They're not just producing tornadoes, they're also producing quite a bit of hail here. As you can see, the hail tracks within the last 2 hours, we really haven't seen any of these storms fizzle out or die within the last several hours. They've been maintaining their strength, or at times even strengthening, and pretty good indication here that we've had hailstones of 1 inch or greater. So we're talking about quarter-size hail to maybe even some ping pong size hail. A little bit difficult to say that. So there is some hail moving through the area. You can see some of the reports that have come in. We have this one here right around Edgewater Park. Hail size of 1.3 inches in diameter. So again, greater than quarter-size hail has been reported throughout parts of our area. This was actually from the National Weather Service office out of Mount Holly. So thanks to them for giving that report, and thanks to them for keeping us all in the know with what's going on this evening with all of this severe weather. So we continue to watch this cell. A couple of different warnings. It looks like one of our tornado warnings was allowed to expire. So we just have this one tornado warning at this point until 7:45. So that's the latest update. The tornado warning that we had a bit farther to the west has been allowed to expire. So we're looking at the area around Manalapan under that tornado warning right now. I-95 and points on east, Monroe, also Marlboro, Howell, 195, Route 9, Route 33, just some of the locations within that tornado warning. So we're down to one tornado warning at this point. I believe this one is radar indicated, and this continues until 7:45. Looking at this right now, I see a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rainfall, but also those indications that there is that hail out there. So it's just a good night to stay put, stay inside, stay in a safe location, and stay there until the tornado threat winds down. I'm hoping that that will be winding down relatively soon. Our entire area has been under a tornado watch. That is expected to continue until 9 o'clock tonight. Paul, would you be able to pop in that tornado watch? I'm almost curious if any counties have been trimmed out of that watch. All right, we haven't seen any counties get trimmed out of that tornado watch at this point. So at least through 9 o'clock tonight, that tornado threat is still there. And we already have had a couple of reports of confirmed tornadoes across our region for tonight. So if we kind of go back to look at the radar here, you'll notice a majority of our region is pretty quiet right now. From Lancaster County toward the Lehigh Valley, you had some noise with those storms earlier, but the bulk of the action here is from Trenton and points on east and a little bit south of Trenton. That's where we continue to deal with the active weather. So the tornado warnings are including Mercer and Ocean counties. This continues until 7:45, so it's 7:33 right now. We're going to stay on the air until at least 7:45, or if they allow this tornado warning to expire. So it's getting a little bit closer toward the coast here. Manalapan, Route 9, also 195 here. Some of the intersecting points currently under this tornado warning. And really just looking at this cell, it looks like it has started to weaken a little bit. There's still a lot of heavy rain and a lot of lightning, but the reflectivity colors are not quite as pronounced as what they were a couple of frames ago, especially to our south and west here. So Storm Tracker 6 Live showing a lot of heavy rain here across this area. Unfortunately, not a good combination, throwing on heavy rain with a tornado threat. If there is a tornado in progress, it'll be very difficult to see, but you don't want to see it anyways. You want to be in a safe location, and that includes these locations that we've just populated here on your screen. Smithburg, the worst of the storm, getting to you at 7:38. We have Burgerville at 7:49, Freehold Acres at 7:53, Howell at 7:57, and Farmingdale just after 8 o'clock. And there's the chance that if this tornado warning is allowed to expire, there could still be some severe thunderstorms. So that's why we get some of those communities there that still would at least have some impact with heavy rain and also wind too. So we're going to stay on the air and see how things unfold these next couple of minutes with this tornado warning. You could clearly see on radar that there's plenty of rain out there. We've had a couple of different flash flood warnings. We'll show you that in just a couple of moments here. Rain within these cells are still producing downpours nearly 2 inches to about 2.25 inches per hour. So these are torrential downpours that are moving throughout this part of New Jersey. And we have had a couple of flash flood warnings. Paul, I'm not sure if we can go ahead and pop that up. I know we had a few of them that continue through about 10 or 11 o'clock tonight as this heavy rain has continued to be a problem here locally. So we're getting that for you. This is the flash flood warning. I know the tornado warning and the flash flood warning are both in red, but you'll notice quite a few communities here currently under a flash flood warning. We have one here for what looks like southern parts of Bucks County, some of the same areas that were just inundated with heavy rainfall a couple of weeks ago. Not a good situation to see that. That flash flood warning is until 11:15, and then we have a couple of additional flash flood warnings that takes us until 11 to 11:15 tonight. So Cecily, what a night it's been.
Oh, I know.
Tornado warnings, flash flood warnings, we've really had it all.
What have we had? About 6 or 7 tornado warnings now. So I do want to give you an update on the tornado warning. The tornado warning for Ocean County has been canceled, but there's still a tornado warning in effect for the small section of Mercer County. So there's a radar indicated storm capable of producing a tornado near Roosevelt, and it's moving east at about 20 miles per hour. So that's why we have that tornado warning in effect till 7:45, so about for the next 9 minutes. So this is the area of concern right now. That tornado warning that was in effect for Bucks County, that was canceled. But if you live within this red polygon, please seek shelter immediately. And expanding to the west, or to the east and the west and the south of that, we still have quite a few severe thunderstorm warnings. So these basically extend right down I-95 through Burlington County. Those are in effect until 8:15. So any of the warnings, if you are in the warned areas, you do want to be indoors. There's no safe place outside during a thunderstorm, especially a severe thunderstorm. But if you're in the tornado warning, that's where you want to go into the lowest level of your home, basement if you have it. Get away from any of the windows. Please put as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible. So zooming in on this, you can see a large area of some heavy rain. We have a lot of lightning strikes, also a strong indication of hail with this. Millstone right now, Sharon, New Jersey, you're getting hit very hard. Manalapan, I've been talking about you for a while. Freehold as well, it's starting to move into your area. Lawrence is reporting some hail, even though you're actually west of the center of the strongest part of the storm. So as we track this, again, moving east at about 20 miles an hour, Fairplay, Manalapan, Smithburg, Freehold, and Burgerville, all in the path of the storm system, that tornado warned storm. This one in particular, this one is radar indicated. So we don't have visual confirmation of a tornado on the ground, but we have indication in the radar that there could be enough shear producing a tornado, and we have had several confirmed tornadoes tonight. Relative velocity shows the wind direction with storms like this, and you can see that we do have right near Manalapan, we have the gate-to-gate shear, this couplet that shows that the winds heading outbound and the winds heading inbound are very close to each other. When you have that, you get that rotation that creates that spin in the storm that can spawn the tornado. We've seen a lot of this signature on a radar tonight. So again, that is that severe, or that tornado warning that is in effect until 7:45. Now, a wider view showing that Burlington County, I've had a lot of reports on social media, northern Burlington County, that you're getting hit really hard. We do have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect here. Pemberton right now, basically from Pemberton to Bordentown, heavy rain, thunder, lightning. We've had reports of hail about the size of $50, and you can see the hail tracks are very impressive. Mount Holly reporting hail 1.5 inches in diameter heading towards the New Jersey Turnpike. Unfortunately, hail can do a lot of damage, especially to cars. The hail tracks show you that that particular cell was really intensifying as it was continuing to track southeast, holding together, and the updrafts from this storm pretty tremendous. The storms have a history of not weakening, of actually getting stronger as they continue their paths. So unfortunately, I do think we're going to see a lot of damage from this. Let's go ahead and go wider, because I want to show some good news that there is light at the end of the tunnel. So you can see this cell that's over Burlington County. And then if you look west, there's not much else going on. So we've been rocking and rolling since about 4 o'clock with the tornado warnings, but this is it. Like, once this moves on, I really think the severe weather threat should be greatly diminished. We still have the tornado watch officially in effect until 9 o'clock. I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of trimmed back a little bit. You do want to stay weather aware, but Philadelphia right now, things are clearing out. Most of southeastern Pennsylvania, we don't have much going on. We do have a few little spotty showers in parts of Bucks and Montgomery County, but nothing severe. So that's good news. I wanted some good news. The bad news is that New Jersey right now, central and northern New Jersey, you're getting hit very hard with severe weather. Again, we have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northern Burlington County, and then we have that tornado warning in effect for parts of extreme eastern Mercer County. The number of lightning strikes over the past 15 minutes, 75. So the focus really is across central and northern New Jersey. Elsewhere, not much is happening right now. So that's the good news. I wanted to show some good news that this is not going to be lasting all night long. These are moving pretty quickly towards the coast. And I think once this particular cell moves off the coast, I think everything really settles down overnight. And tomorrow we have some really beautiful weather. But in the meantime, you do want to definitely stay weather aware. So let's go ahead and I want to go back and actually show you the warning. So this is the tornado warning in effect for the next 4 minutes. Let's see what happens after that. And the focus in our viewing area is that extreme eastern part of Mercer County. So that is in effect until 7:45. And then we have the severe thunderstorm warnings that extend basically west and south of that until 8:15. All of this in New Jersey, southeastern Pennsylvania right now. You are in the clear. Delaware, you are in the clear. But the severe thunderstorms continue to really pummel parts of New Jersey right now. We also have reports of some flash flooding. We have a lot of wind damage. We have the thunder and lightning, and also the large hail that I've been showing you. You know, why don't we? Expired. The tornado warning's expired? Hallelujah. All right, the tornado warning has expired. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect. We will have a full report on Action News tonight at 11. Thank you for joining. I'm meteorologist Cecily Tynan. We now head you to your regular programming. Thank you. I'm meteorologist Cecily Tynan with this Accuweather alert. We do have a tornado warning in effect for Ocean County. A confirmed tornado is near Waretown. It's moving east at 25 miles per hour. It's moving into shore towns right now. If you live within this tornado warning, you need to seek shelter immediately. The best place to go is in the basement, but I know a lot of shore houses, you don't have basements. So if you don't have a basement, what do you need to do? Go to the lowest level of your home. Avoid windows. You want to get into an interior closet or interior bathroom, something that puts as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible. We've had several confirmed tornadoes tonight. We've had some extensive damage, so please do take this very seriously. Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing that tornado near Waretown. We also have quite a bit of hail associated with this, some wind damage, and a pretty good hook echo. That's a signature that shows that the rain is kind of wrapping around the center of the storm, that center of circulation, that tornado. So moving through Waretown right now, it's crossing Route 9. It's just north of Barnegat. It's heading towards Barnegat Light. And what we can do, we can actually show a storm track and show you some of the communities heading that way. The northern part of LBI, this is heading in your direction. So please, if you're under the tornado warning, you do need to seek shelter immediately. Pebble Beach, Barnegat Light in the path of the storm system. It's now crossed over the Garden State Parkway. It's right over Route 9, and it's moving pretty quickly towards the east, moving at about 25 miles per hour. So that's a pretty good clip. We can show you the relative velocity. So this shows you the wind direction of the storm, and it shows a pretty good signature near Waretown, where we're getting that couplet where we get the gate-to-gate shear. We have the winds heading towards the radar site, the inbound in green, and the outbound heading away from the radar site, basically right next to each other, and that's between Waretown and Barnegat right now, crossing Route 9. So please seek shelter immediately. This is a serious storm. Again, a confirmed tornado in Waretown, Ocean County. That tornado warning does go into effect until 9:30 tonight. So if you live within this red polygon, if you're vacationing at the Jersey Shore, again, you do want to seek shelter immediately. Barnegat, Barnegat Light, Harvey Cedars, Surf City, all in this tornado warning. Please take this seriously. Get into the lowest level of your home, interior, bathroom or closet, away from the windows. This is a confirmed tornado. I will have a full report on Action News tonight at 11 o'clock. I'm meteorologist Cecily Tynan.